Stream's on. Don't say anything you're gonna regret. All right, cool. I have one more taco to eat. So once they start draft, I'll probably just put the draft on, eat my taco, and then I'll come in and talk.
I got you.
It's taunting me down here.
Hey, I wouldn't blame you. Taco is a priority right now.
I also don't have their logo yet. So that's nice. I'll get that right now. It's also kind of weird, like I've casted enough. I recognize all the people on the enemy team. So I've definitely casted this team before, but I don't know. There's no way I remember anything about it, you know?
I believe I watched a couple matches from the Masters team, and I was really impressed to see there were a couple of games where I saw they should have won. Definitely play a lot of close games.
Yeah, I have a lot of opinions about the Masters team this split.
I was actually so I didn't mean to cut you off so you can enjoy your taco, but it was actually a conversation I had with a couple other people in the server, and it was actually quite interesting how some of the higher elo teams are having the lower seeding, and then the lower elo teams are having some of the higher seeding. So
Yeah,
it's quite good to see like a mix up there.
yeah. I just love. So stat. Here we go. The Masters team beat the number. So they finished 5th in their group, right? They beat the 2, 3, and 4 team, and lost to all the teams. Lost to the number 1 team and the 2 teams below them. So they lost to 1, 6, and 7. Just the weirdest group stage you could possibly imagine.
Sounds like a nice rundown of Team Liquid.
So like they can beat anybody, but they could also lose to anybody. So we could see a quick 3-0. We could see an 0-3. We could, see them win the championship. They could just lose here, and all of those, I'd be like, yeah, that happens. I don't know why they're making sure we're ready.
Very polite of them.
It's. Oops, that's not the one I wanted. All right, well,
right,
we're live with playoff lower bracket round 1. Return of the Middlesticks taking on OMT Khaos. My name is Marius. My co-caster's Atlas. It's a best of 5. I'm gonna eat a taco. Talk about the draft. Go.
Okay, Wukong and Yasuo being banned away from the Rodham side. Not sure if I've actually seen Exclamation play Yasuo at all, but not that bad of a ban. I don't think he's in a point in this meta where it's super like cryo ban, but Wukong for sure. Rimmel being banned away for the other side. Not that bad of a ban. I mean, it really depends on what they want to play. Soraka, that is a top tier ban. That is a Smurf ban. I love this. These bans are actually pretty good. Going into this matchup though, I'm really excited to see our Masters team go up high. I really hope that they can snatch this win. I hope it's a 3-0 for us. Hope these guys win. Easy sweep. Alright, Trundle being taken away, Senna being taken away as well. First pick to Gragas. I feel like there's a lot more better priority picks other than Gragas, but he is unkillable once he reaches a certain point in the game. And Poppy and Poppy is actually a pretty good pick against Dragon. I really like this by Rodham side so far. And Draven being picked up. This is actually a really good pickup on the bot lane. Draven's been climbing his way back up into the meta in bot lane. There was a while like as the what patch was it? The durability patch came up. It was a decline on Draven's win rate, and then it skyrocketed back up as of recent. So it's nice to see that Draven getting picked up again, not only in LCS, but also in solo queue. So it's nice to see Draven. Vera's being picked up again. I think Draven wins this matchup. Preferably, I'd rather have the Draven just because it's more aggressive early on. Varus, you kind of want to wait till you're level 6. But nonetheless, still, it's not that bad of a matchup bot lane. Let's see what they go ahead and take for their last pick. Udyr. Ooh. A lot of running towards Rotom with this comp that they're going against. I'm not exactly sure what the concept is. They have a good amount of CC already on the Omega Titan Force side, which is really nice to see. However, I don't really see a real good comp so far. You have the Varus throw out some poke and catch some people with his ultimate, but for what? Udyr and Gragas really aren't the biggest height damage dealers, but it's nice to see Renata getting picked up. That is such a great pick. You have 2 champions on Omega side just running towards you. Might as well just run out Renata ult. It's a very good pick. I like Rotom's bot side a lot. What do you think, Maris? I agree.
I'm almost done with my taco. I'm one last bite. We're getting there.
Vanguard being banned out and Zillion. Zillion actually being banned out against Draven is actually really, really good in the bot lane matchup. I don't really see a way where Zillion would ever get picked into the mid lane in any of this high elo matches, but Zillion being banned out for the bot lane and going against Draven is actually really, really good. It hinders a lot of what Draven wants to do. If it's a really well played Zillion, they can easily shut down this Draven Renata bot lane with Varus Zillion. But it's nice to see that being banned away, Braum being banned out. These are actually really good bot lane bans. You have Soraka being banned out, Zillion being banned out, and Braum. Really, really good bans on the Rotom side.
Alright, I'm officially here. Sorry. I apologize the time. You know, sometimes you get off work like 4:30, you have to go to the grocery store and then just shove food in your face. So, apologies about all that. Kale's the last ban. I just wanted to say, I think these first 3 picks from Rotom are pretty smurf. You've got the Draven stand aside for Gragas E, which makes it really hard to engage. So even though you have the Gragas theoretically flex pick available, and then you already ruined it by picking Udyr, seems kind of weird. Darius is going to be locked in for Yuna. That's a Yuna special.
I hope this is not another pickup for Omega where they're doing another run forward type of thing. I mean, like you said, they already had Gragas and Udyr, and they have Draven and Renata to stop them. But I can't see any other good pick that they would have unless it's some type of poke, or maybe even some type of hard engage like Leona. I would probably consider to be really good. But so far right now, their main damage is coming. Oh, okay, never mind. I'll shut up about that. Tristana being picked up.
So it's all physical damage, and you've already got Darius and Poppy who can itemize a fair bit of armor. So I'm curious about that, but the Tristana mid gives a lot of power early on, and it's kind of a weird pick to play against. It has a very different power spike than a lot of normal mid laners. And the Karma is going to round out the composition, so we're looking at Gragas top for Giga.
It's not that bad seeing a Tristana mid. It's actually quite flexible to do Varus mid as well. Varus mid has been actually coming out quite a good amount recently that I've seen, not only in my experience in solo queue, but also high elo solo queue. Varus has actually been coming really good, a lot more, just because of the amount of poke that he can do. But if he's going to be matching up against a Victor, I think this is more favorable for Tristana.
Yep, so first draft done. Relative clarity, just need to know if the Varus and Tristana are going to swap. Do you think there's a chance we see the Scram special, the AP Varus?
I think so. I really do think so. It's definitely doable. I know it's a bit of a question mark at sometimes depending on what the matchup is, but for this matchup, I think it wouldn't be too bad. Like you said, it's a lot of physical damage. They do have the Karma, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be a tank Karma. Or, I'm not tank Karma. I'm pretty sure there's going to be Karma in bot lane with either or. If I'm Omega, I want to have Tristana in the bot lane, just so I can scale faster. I don't think it'll be a good idea having Poppy come into mid lane ready to gank this Tristana.
Well, we're waiting for the teams to ready up for our second draft. Oh my gosh. Everybody get settled in. It's our first best of 5, which is always a little bit of a marathon, even when it only goes 3 games. Both the teams have to get settled into the series, and it's always interesting to see what the theory is behind the first draft. If these are things that are repeatable, you win 1 game, you can just win 3 with the same draft, or if it's stuff where, you know, we're picking some of our hidden tech just to flaunt it a little bit to start the playoffs.
I can definitely see Rodham being able to take away this game 1 with the comp that they've drafted so far. It's a lot of really good like disengage and I don't want to say repositioning, but it's a lot of good ways to just stall out the fight. There's just so much dive onto Omega where if the wrong person dives, i.e. example Tristana or Varus does not throw his ult in time to save Udyr, I think this is gonna be a Rodham win. This is a hard Smurf comp, to be honest.
Yeah, I just think it's interesting. So the Rodham team's a little bit more short ranged. You have the Victor for a little bit of long range wave clear, but if the Victor doesn't get going, you could be in a little bit of trouble with like a Varus and Tristana walking up to your towers. It's almost like a mini siege comp at that point if the Varus is ahead. So something to keep an eye on. That I think there's a little bit of flexibility to the OMT team comp. If we're just looking at straight 5v5 team fights, I think I like ROTMs, but OMT has a couple more arrows in their quiver. I agree. That's a Varus pun. Anyway.
I agree. It's definitely tough as a Victor in this comp to kind of be seen as the weak point because you have to farm so much in lane, and you always have to be aware of the Tristana wanting to go in, especially level 2 or 3. So it is going to be a slow matchup for Victor early on. But like you said, if this Victor gets going by the 13 minute mark, I think it's definitely going to be a lot harder for Tristana to come back into this lane. Like you said, it look like it's going to be a Varus mid, which is actually pretty Smurf for Tristana. I'd rather have Tristana go against a Victor, but I don't know. This Draven bot lane against a Varus it doesn't sound good at all. It definitely sounds like a favorable matchup for Rodham.
So I think the Tristana is probably better in both matchups, but I think you want some levels on Tristana before you can fight Draven at all. So I think that this is probably the best place to start with, and then maybe you can flip the Tristana and Varus once you get a little bit of extra range. I don't know if that's, you know, the game plan they're talking about right now, but it's at least a possibility for them to navigate what might be a little bit rougher matchups and try to avoid Indigo on the Draven.
I'm excited. This is actually a really good draft. Like, even though I think Rodham's is a little bit more favorable, not only early but going on to the late game, I really think that both are equally strong at certain points. But then I'm pretty sure Rodham's side is definitely going to take away the game at a certain timestamp. This is actually going to be really interesting to watch.
I'm kind of curious if Yuna's going to take. You would imagine he's on Flash Ghost, right? On the Darius, just to try to have a little bit more lane dominance, especially into the Gragas, who has a lot of CC and disengage and bullshit. But how they work around having a disadvantage in terms of teleports and things like that. They've done it well in the past. Yuna's played the Darius, he's played Yone, he's played a couple of other things that he hasn't taken teleport on, but I don't know. I've felt it a little rough. I've missed the last win in the qualifier match. So my most recent memories of the Masters team have been them kind of throwing 3 straight games. Not to put them on blast, but they'll get leads, they'll have chances in pretty much every game that they're in, and then they just overly force plays or they make bad decisions. And it looked like during the qualifier that I got to watch a little bit of on the Aegis stream that they cleaned up a little bit of that, and I really want to see where they're at to start out with here, especially because it seems like they're. I'm trying to think of a way to say this that isn't flaming at all, but um, when they win more, and when they lose more. Like they're. I don't want to call them a weak mental team because that's really mean, but like, um, they're momentum based. That's a nice way to say it, right?
Yeah, go. I mean, I agree to some of the some things you're saying. Definitely, if this team comes gets behind, like most definitely, I can see them like um just falling off the face of the earth. But nonetheless, still, I think they have the ability to most definitely be able to get this lead early on into this game. Um, what are some things you're hoping to see develop as the series go on?
What I'm most interested to see is a lot of times enemy teams focus a lot on Yuna and trying to shut down top lane, and I want to see him either absorb the pressure a little bit better or just completely pop off on a couple of different champions and really make it difficult to ban him out going forward. Because that Yasuo ban, that's targeted toward Yuna. Like it's a flex pick between Yuna and exclamation, but it's mostly Yuna is the Yasuo one trick phenom extraordinaire in solo queue. So um, I just want to see Yuna have a lot of success at either absorbing the pressure that OMT is going to put out or capitalize on them not putting enough pressure on him. And I think that that's the big hinge for how the early series is going to go. And then I want to see how they can adjust one way or the other.
Yeah, I've noticed usually throughout my small experience in Asia, a lot of the first drafts are usually just ban everyone's best pick that's being shown, and then we'll get to game two, and then we'll ban out the smarter picks that were either underrated or stuff that is really overlooked. Um,
Look at that
I
confidence
hope
from Giga on the Gragas. Man's loading
first
in with
strike
first strike into the Darius lane.
that is that is pretty Chad. I don't know if I would do that. I mean, the teleport is correct, but first strike. I don't know that. I
Uh,
don't know. I don't
I
know.
I feel like you need phase rush or aftershock to survive the lane, but um Giga's gonna get some extra damage. He's gonna get some extra money, and maybe that's enough to tilt the lane in his advantage. But yeah, I really want to see how that plays out now. You have the ways to interrupt. So a lot of people pick Gragas into Darius. You have the annoying trade pattern where you just EW auto and then just walk away from them with phase rush. And during the time that they're stunned, Darius can't like apprehend you and you get out of range. Just really annoying to deal with. You can't do that with phase rush or with first strike because you're just not fast enough. So
I think with him going first strike, we're probably going to see a lot of Udyr up in the top lane. Like you said, it's probably going to be a lot harder for him to stay in lane if this is the way he wants to go. But
okay, so this particular bug, I don't know. I have to coach everyone through the bugs in this fucking spectator client. Um, Wait for the numbers to show up on the timeline. It'll eventually say 00 of 00, and then you just click on the timeline, and it'll load you in, and then you'll
League of
hit.
Legends in the dark. I agree. This is what Nocturne's ult should look like.
So now you should be able to hit that. Click on
Yeah,
the
I got it.
timeline, and then you hit plus to get to live, and we should be synced up. And if we fall off, if I ever say something that sounds nonsensical to you with what you're watching, or vice versa, we'll figure out what happened to the timer, because as we're well aware, the Riot client is just the most perfectly functioning client in the entire
I
world.
agree. I agree.
Well,
We are going to see an invade though.
yeah, the 5 stack toward the bottom. This is something that ROTM defends pretty heavily. Oh yeah, there's the ward down. It immediately does go over to Flyer, which isn't super insignificant, but I think they split the XP too many ways. So I don't think he'll get level 2 on the first wave. It'll be kind of close, but um, regardless, Hot Damn didn't die, which is very important, and didn't have to blow any summoners. It's just the extra ward.
Yeah, that was a clutch ward. I mean, normally it's smart to ward there anyways and to potentially see the invade happening anyways, but he got it off just in time before Gragas was able to. I believe Gragas was like behind the stack instead of in the front, so it was kind of hard for Gragas to even do anything. I think Hot Damn Jam did a great job getting there as quick as possible, throwing down that ward.
Yeah, and they got the little counter. I don't want to say invasion, but Indigo walked in and got the ward on the red buff. So Sleepyhead's going to be spotted. They'll hand that ward over to Giga. So Giga's going to hit level 2 on that first wave, which could be a little worrying, I guess, if you're Yuna. And Flyer's going to walk in with the, the bomb at level 1 on exclamation. That's Tristana tactics. If you haven't played against Tristana mid, which why would you? Level 2 is really scary. And then after that, it's not very scary for a long time until you get a couple of items. But that level 2 and also level 6 are pretty scary. And you can see Flyer's going to hit that, and exclamation has to back way off, but he's still going to jump through. A lot of damage coming through. Not as much. Not going to hard commit to it, but still, half your health at level 1 doesn't feel great.
It does not, especially going Doran's Ring and having only to get 2 potions. I feel the pain.
Indigo hits level 2, walks on forward with the spinning axes, a lot of damage onto Paragon. Kyle Good is here. They'll get the handshake
Bobby's
onto
coming out.
Netflix and Zill, and a well-timed flash on the Karma. One more auto,
Wait,
the
he can go
flash
for it.
forward. Oh, the heal! He killed himself! Oh no, it's
Oh.
first blood for Netflix and Zill. But
Sleepy's coming
here
from the
comes
side.
Udyr Sleepyhead looking to get onto Kyle Good, gets the stun. His job is done. The flash away from Kyle Good. He's got the phase rush proc, and I don't think Hot Damn has nearly enough damage on the Renata, so little unlucky there from Indigo. A little too aggressive at level 1. Or level 2.
Again, this is a thing we're gonna see in bot lane a lot. Obviously, Karma not going Airy was a little bit sus, but going Common instead. But manages to get level 2 and levels up the shield. Normally, aggressive Karmas will level up W. It's actually nice to see he brought out his shield. Definitely a life-saving level up for Paragon in the bot lane. I do not think they come out on top of that if they did not level up his shield, but wow, what a level 2.
Yeah, Fireworks already in the bottom lane, and now we'll have to see if Indigo can kind of regroup from that one. He's not really behind. Oh, actually, he's behind old Doran's Blade. That's a little rough. I was like, he's got 3 items. Enemy has 3 items. That's the same number, but one of them's a pink word, so let that be a
Yeah.
lesson to you. 80 carries. Never buy pink words. They don't do damage.
Yeah, they don't. But it's good. It's good to know, like, even though he's behind, like a Varus getting 1 kill or at least a few gold ahead of you isn't gonna really mean much. He is going on hit Varus with the lethal tempo, so it's not gonna feel good later on. But right now, he's still at a good spot, even though he burnt his flash. I wouldn't be surprised to see a repeat gank, but Sleepy did burn his ghost. I think we're just gonna see a lot more passive farming from here. But in the mid lane, it's actually gonna like. Maybe Flyer might go in for an all-in on level 6 once he gets it.
Yeah, it's got to try to get that wave back in a good spot, because Exclamation has no incentive to leave his tower anytime soon. Every time we look up here, Yuna's getting a little bit better trade in the top lane, and Giga's burned through a lot of his mana, so this is when it starts getting a little bit scary, but Yuna took a recall, so he's actually leveled down right now. Just to check in up there, everything else relatively even across the board. The only difference is that first blood gold at 5 minutes, which you like to see. Everyone's settling in nicely for game 1 of the playoff series.
Definitely not the end of the world for Draven. I mean, coming back in, he does still have the... Oh, it's even CS now. He'll have a pickaxe, but Varus hasn't back yet. This is gonna be a really evened out bot lane. I'm pretty sure if they can manage to get 1 trade back kill, they'll definitely be back in it. But as of right now, this is pretty much favorable for Varus, especially since Udyr's gonna back and come back to his red side.
I mean, that's always the game with the Draven, right? You either have the money printer online or you don't have the money printer online. And not online yet. Gotta get a couple of those cash-ins before it starts really flowing.
Oh, Giga buying a tier coming back into lane. That's actually pretty smart since he's burning so much mana just to stay in lane.
Yeah, I think he's He's definitely headed AP. I'm very curious if that's going to be a Night Harvester with the tier afterwards, or if he'll go like an Everfrost for a little bit more utility. There's a lot of options, a lot of nuance to the AP Gragas build. That's just a cask. He's getting first strike money, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, he must know something that I don't clearly.
I mean, he
I
knows that he's
wonder.
not in any super danger to Yuna right now, unless Yuna really commits with the Ghost and Flash, so you can kind of just do that. Kyle's going to be spotted out, gets the pin into the wall, and has the Phase Rush torn away. Um, Phase Rush Poppy, by the way, just hit EQ auto and then run away really fast from your whatever you pinned.
This is one of the disadvantages of having to farm under turn for Victor. You're giving up so much lane pressure to where Tristana can easily come down. As you saw there, um, Tristana was nearby in case Netflix and Zill was actually going to go down. It's going to be really tough for Exclamation to really be involved in these dragon fights if he's being pushed up so much. I'm curious to see how long he's going to stay in lane with him being half mana at this point. And Udyr is looking like he wants this dragon.
Yeah, I think Exclamation's just trying to hit Lost Chapter, and it doesn't seem like ROTM is super concerned about this first dragon. They have Kyle in the area though, and he's dropping a little bit of clear time to maybe make this play. And now Indigo with a dodge on the piercing arrow. There's just not much that ROTM can really do to find proactive plays right now. As exciting as these champions are, they're kind of stifled by what uh, OMT has brought to the table.
If I'm not mistaken, that's Yuna up there with a blue buff that he took down not too long ago. That's actually going to slow down Udyr a little bit on his blue side, but he doesn't get the dragon. I think after understanding Tristana has lane pressure, it's definitely not that bad of an early dragon to take at this point. Even with Varus having control of the lane not too long ago, I don't know why you wouldn't.
I
But
think
this is Masters we're talking about, so I'm not going to question anything.
it's it's just hard. I think with it being a Hextech dragon, it does quite a bit of damage. I don't
That is
think you
true.
can just solo it right now as Udyr without paying either a large health cost or a large amount of time to chunk all the way through it. And Flyer's not freed up to really go down and help chunk it without forcing a team fight. And they don't know that they're stronger in the 4v4 right now. They might have an inkling, but they just don't want to gamble it. And this is, at least in my experience, what you see a lot of times in first playoff games is a lot of teams just checking off of plays that they don't otherwise normally go for. And as you settle into this series, teams will start going for things again. But usually game one, you kind of feel each other out and try to see who's gonna make the first mistake rather than make the first proactive play.
Oh, Sleepy's in
Yeah,
the pit.
Sleepy's in the pit, trying to find this one. He dodges out of the Renata ult, and he's just zooming away with his ghost and bear stance. But that is going to turn control of the Dragon Pit once again over to ROTM. They don't have a great way to enter. And yeah, ROTM kind of against, I don't want to say against the run of play, but we've seen them have a little bit of difficulty handling their waves. But they find an opportunity, they'll get the first Dragon of the game.
Yeah, really tough for Udyr to be on the top side of the map and then to reset after his blue got taken away. They kind of had the opportunity to do dragon. I don't really see this gank down here happening.
Ooh, flash away from the Varus ult. That was really on the spot from Hot Damn Jam. And now Exclamation and Kyle Good might even walk bottom and see if they can make something happen. No, that's just a bait. He's just taking the long way back to mid lane.
Yeah, after seeing Indigo try to flash to secure the first blood under tower, I think it's best you just burn your flash again just for the safety this time. You already made your first mistake. Don't want to go ahead and give Varus an even longer lead. Kyle Good is down here, but I think they did spot him walking to the second bush.
I don't know if they spotted him. It's been worded
Oh,
out. They
what
get
a
the
look.
handshake in onto Netflix and Zill. The pin isn't quite into the tower. Whirling Death comes through. The smite. Do they actually have the damage? They should eventually. Netflix
Sleepyhead.
so low. The flash forward. Kyle Good doesn't have it. He's getting healed by the Mantra W. And now Sleepyhead's turning on him. And once again, ROTM is overextended just a little bit. And OMT takes advantage.
this is gonna spell a lot of trouble for bot lane since Varus has just got an assist on that. Udyr got a kill on that. Just so much gold being handed to this bot lane because of Rodham being um too bloodthirsty. I get trying to get the 1-for-1 trade off, but man, this has got to sting for their bot for Rodham's bot side. Having Varus get ahead not only in CS but now in the assist category, that's a lot of gold onto him.
And it's really hard because this is exactly what was happening during their loss streak, was these little plays, just 100 health here and there was deciding games. And once again, it it hasn't tilted completely in OMT's favor, but they're going to have a small gold lead pretty much across the board. Your advantages right now are your big farm leads in mid and bottom, or mid and top, excuse me. So really need to see something from Darius and exclamation, from Darius and Victor, or Yuna and exclamation. I don't know why I'm mixing them, but yeah. Probably once we hit an item on both of those characters, they'll want to start looking to do things. But right now, we're hanging out. Kyle trying to take care of the Rift Herald, and Giga's going to walk in. Kyle uses the ult. He's able to secure the Rift Herald, pick up the eye even. So far, a successful heist, and has a little speed boost to get out. The gravity well's there for the stun, so a successful heist for Kyle Good, able to take the Rift Herald and get out.
That's a great rift being secured. I would definitely want to use that onto this mid lane. Get some more gold down for this Victor. He's already got a major CS lead. Like you said, their mid and top is probably gonna be their biggest damage output or the issue for OTM. I don't see a good idea putting this in the bot lane. I know that it's only down 100 gold at this point. So even with Rodham,
they get the pin onto Flyer.
He stops the hop.
Really nice dash canceled there. Do they have the damage? They finally do with the laser from exclamation. Indigo gets caught in the bottom lane by the Victor ult, and Sleepyhead walks in and tears through Kyle Good. So on the board, but you lose 2 kills in the process, and both sums on Indigo. Plus he loses all of those stacks. So Indigo's in a really rough spot now on the Draven.
Yeah, really, really, really rough spot to be in. I definitely don't want to be down 0-2, losing all those stacks. And it's a feel good having the kill onto the Victor. It really is, but like I said, with this Varus just slowly getting, slowly ramping up, it's definitely going to suck for moments where Poppy's going to run in solo, and then Darius is going to run in with Ghost solo. It's just an easy Varus, and it's just going to be an easy way for OTM to kind of just play front to back. Draven being behind, I don't really see an opportunity for him to come back unless they somehow get a great gank onto this bot lane. But let's see what's happening top lane.
Yeah, Apprehend comes down onto Giga and a really good explosive cask to go ahead and disengage. He did go for the Night Harvester, and Kyle's going to drop the Rift Herald up for Yuna. So unfortunately, just after turret plates fall off, so not getting the maximum value out of that, but they'll get the first turret. And share a little bit of that gold between the Poppy and the Darius.
It does feel good to see that Rodham is trying to pour some pressure onto this top side of the map with dragon spawning, but I don't really see anything happening other than just them clearing out their blue side, other than them getting a second damage onto the second tier turret. What do you gain from it other than losing dragon pressure at this point?
Yeah, I don't know that you can fight Dragon anyway, as strong as Paragon is. Now you have the Kraken Slayer finished up on Indigo, which makes it fightable, but it's just hard to force your way in there, I think, right now. So you find the play on the top side, get a little cross-map action going. And now everyone hanging around exclamation in the mid lane. In comes the Chaos Storm Flyer, very low. The pin from Kyle Good just not quite there. Hits the ult. Is the Chaos Storm damage enough? The Renata ult might turn that one around. The shield onto Flyer keeps him alive. And now Hot Damn walks a little bit too far forward. He's got to fight or die. And unfortunately, looks like he's going to die. But Yuna's here. He gets the... didn't quite save Hot Damn in time. But Yuna has the stacks. He gets the dunks. It's a double kill for Yuna on the Darius.
That was a big time swing for Rodham. That's exactly what they need. And if they're actually able to get this
Indigo?
karma...
this might be huge. If Indigo can get the cash out, Netflix and Zill is kind of slippery on the karma. That's not the best champion to try to... Yeah, I guess he's fine. Kyle might be able to get there. Yeah, he'll get there at least. Oh, yes, it got through the shield. So it is the shutdown going to Kyle Good. That's the worst. I don't know how many interactions people are familiar with, but if you only damage the shield, it actually doesn't count as a killer and assist. So you have to at least do 1 point of damage to the actual Karma body. So it was good that that buckler did enough damage from Kyle Good.
An opportunity did show up for Indigo to cash in his stacks, but it let it slip away right through his fingertips.
He did get a
But
kill during
really
that
good lead.
somehow.
Oh, yeah, where was this from?
I guess he Whirling Death one, but I must have missed it. It must have been on that top side of the fight. Someone walked into him without the directed camera on him, so he got to cash in. We were worried about nothing, I guess, but it's not the huge cash in because he lost. He was on 92, so he lost like 70 stacks or so. So probably about a 30 to 40 stack cash in, if I had to guess.
A big boost to this Darius though, and is Victor. Victor getting assist on both those kills that Darius picked up. Didn't really spell out a lot of objective success after getting that successful team fight. Just 2 kills picked up, and then the Karma trade off. Not really too much success after that, but it's good to see that they're the ones that need to get fed at this point are getting fed. I wonder what this Darius is gonna be building with that Warhammer though.
Plus,
Do you think he's gonna go for what's that item called?
it's Death's Dance, I'm pretty sure.
Death Dance, yeah.
I'm more excited about the confidence that that's going to give them to go for some plays. Get the knock up onto Sleepyhead, just not quite enough to force. No, he's going to walk back into Yuna. Yuna hits him with the Stride Breaker.
Barrel
They
cast.
have to try to get out. Oh, the barrel. Not quite the range
Renato!
that he wanted in the Renato ult. Tearing on through. Sleepyhead's going to go down first. Yuna gets the reset. Can he get onto anybody else? Exclamation walking on through. Just drops the Chaos Storm onto Netflix and Zill. But Flyer is going to be able to ward him off with the explosive shot. And that'll be the end of that play. But 1-for-0 for ROTM again in the little corridor near blue buff. And they'll take the blue buff for their trouble.
I think Sleepyhead forgot that if you're gonna re-engage from the explosive casket, you have to have Tristana or Varus somewhere nearby. Just him getting sent in there alone with no damage dealer to help out, it doesn't feel good going by yourself. You're not a one-man army just yet on Udyr.
Oh. Sheila going to be picked up by Kyle Good. Have the opportunity to bust open that mid lane tower here in a few. Plus, you got 130 on that first Ocean Dragon, which I don't know about you, but I don't really want. I don't really want the enemy team with an Ocean Soul. What's Renato ult's name? Hostile Takeover.
Yeah, that's definitely is not something I really want to allow for Rodham to have. Going on to this next dragon that's going to be coming up. I'm really excited to see what OTM is going to do to position themselves for this dragon. Are they going to be pushing out top lane with exclamation?
Hot Damn going to be caught just a little bit here. Sleepyhead hits him with the stun into the tether. That's a long single target CC, but they don't really want to walk in. He's got the it's not quite enough to really buy time. Sleepyhead caught a little bit overextended, though, and Indigo's going to get a cash out. So maybe an overextension from OMT gets turned around a little bit. Now Flyer looking for exclamation in the top lane, able just to avoid the edge of that gravity well. Big Karma Q actually tearing on through. Indigo with a flash away, but unfortunately, Kyle Good cannot. And so Giga picks up his first kill of the game on the board on the AP Gragas.
It was a nice 1-for-1 trade-off for Rodham, but then as soon as Kyle Good just gets caught out there, it goes right back into the favor of OTM. Even though Rodham's still up by 2k gold, that pick definitely does hurt, especially with Dragon coming up.
Yeah. Oh, jump in again from Flyer. He gets caught in the gravity well now.
Oh,
Chaos Storm coming on through, and a Buster shot away will at least get him out. He's still got Flash available if he needs it, but now Exclamation can be the one who's on the hunt just a little bit. Has the speed boost from the power transfer.
Oh,
he gets the kill! The auto plus the E was enough damage, apparently. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, though, it's a dragon being secured for OMT.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about with Kyle Good being picked off in the jungle. Definitely gives access for OTM to get this dragon. They actually might look for more here.
Yeah, Montreux gonna land on the hot damn jam, but he's gonna scoot a boot out of there. Yuna gonna threaten from the side. They have Rift Herald, so Sheila will drop on in and make sure to secure this mid lane tower for return of the Middlesticks. Well, they didn't need Sheila. They would have gotten it anyway. Are they going to get Sheila into the second tower? Oh, that apprehend. Trying to hide it behind Sheila. That was a dirty little trick by Yuna, but it doesn't pay off for him this time.
Right now, Rodham, even though they're up 3K gold, they're in a really good position. With exclamation getting that solo kill on Tristana, and Yuna just being the threat that he is right now. Draven slowly coming back from that devastating early game. I don't think it's out of the park for Rodham just yet. Even though they have a good position right now, OTM can still continue to make these picks they've been doing onto Kyle Good and Hot Damn Jam.
Yeah, I liked the look down here from Yuna and Kyle. Trying to find a pick on Giga, but heads up noting that there are enough people from our team off the map that Gragas didn't overextend down there. So we flip vision back and forth. Now what's the next play going to be? It looks like exclamation. Oh, he checked the wrong bush. Now he checks the right one, but it's a little too late for him. Has to try to zip away. He's got a lot of movement speed, but Paragon finds him with the Varus ult, whose name I can't think of just right now. It's Chain of Corruption, and that might be Baron for ROTM. Or for OMT,
really
excuse
risky.
me.
Really risky sending out Victor to clear out the side of the map that's not covered in vision. I get that you have 4 people on the bot side, but for what? There's a
Kyle
tower there.
with the ult. Oh, not quite in the
Almost.
range. I don't know that would have. It would have just sent away Giga, which. I mean, I still don't think you can enter and steal. So it's a.
They will pick up this mid-second tier, though.
I don't think that that's worth it for Baron, but they'll definitely get it, yeah.
Oh, actually, no, they're not going to take it.
That also seems reasonable. It's 22 minutes and they're back on the map pretty quick.
Yeah, really risky to send out, or for exclamation to want to kind of check the top side of the map by himself. I'm definitely asking for help, trying to clear out or trying to get vision onto the side of the map that has no teammates around. That was really big for OTM to come in. Like I said earlier, they're going to continue to go for these picks as much as possible because they know that Rodham is overextending. I don't know what they're going to be able to do 5v5 against Rodham, but individual picks, it seems like it's working. The goal lead is now almost just about even.
Yeah, now they'll slam it on home through mid lane and pick up the first gold lead in quite a while off of that. You do have exclamation split pushing, and it's hard to see. I don't know that there's one person that can really match the Victor right now, but you send 2 or 3 and that gets to be a bit scary for the Victor, so he's got to get out of there, even teleporting back to base just to make sure that he escapes in time, and ROTM will clear on through mid lane. So the Victor Gambit kind of does buy them some space. Oh, the teleport in. They might have caught Kyle good here. Giga able to sidestep the Poppy ult. He gets pinned into the wall, but I don't think that it's really going to matter. They'll get the jump down, the slow. He's got the flash plus the speed boost. So Kyle's out of there, but now with 120 on the Dragon and control of the pit, definitely in favor of OMT Khaos. Oh, look at this little choke point, though. The Victor can really wreak havoc in here if he's able to get a laser and a ult in there, but wisely OMT heads back to the lane.
Yeah, they know they can't win as 5v5, but almost getting a pick on the Kyle Good, almost a smart choice on their end, but they backed off smartly because they know fighting into this jungle, especially with Victor around, is a no-go.
Oh, what a big Gragas ult! They've caught Kyle Good to start out with. He's burning, but he's not dead. A hostile takeover comes back just to try to delay. The Draven ult over the top is enough to send OMT scrambling, and that looked huge. That was a perfect Gragas ult, but just not quite enough damage from OMT Khaos.
Yeah, that was really big. Unfortunately, nothing came out of it, but still, a lot of summoners being blown. Yuna had to burn his flash. I'm pretty sure Paragon had to burn his heal. Definitely some stuff I would want to have with this dragon coming up. Rodham back on the map first. Indigo actually did not back, but Rodham back onto the map, heading towards this dragon.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I think we're gonna.
He doesn't have lifesteal other than maybe some in the runes. Exclamation's gonna be the last one there. There's a lot of ults missing right now, which is a little bit scary for both sides. No Chain of Corruption, no Victor ult. Yuna might be the first one who's caught. He uses the Stride Breaker just to get a little bit of distance. Paragon doesn't quite get pulled into the gravity well, which would have been so critical during all of that. Blast Plant taken away, and this is representative of Soul Point for OMT, and it looks like RTM is going to just hand over that dragon and fight for the next one.
Yeah, that was a great handshake onto the Varus, but unfortunately, him having flash just gets out just in time. Yuna getting chunked out as well, not being able to re-engage with the Varus being pulled forward. Very, very, very rough for Rodham to come back with the map being smaller and smaller for them.
Netflix and Zill just chasing through Kyle Good, as you can apparently do on support Karma. And now the jungle belongs to OMT, which, again, just compounds some of the issues that ROTM have been having. They still have the farm leads. They still are very competitive in gold. It's been really close team fights, and neither side's been willing to give over extra kills and fully commit to things. It's been a very well played, very polished game from both sides, all things considered. Flyer?
Okay.
That was interesting. Buster shot used, and Kyle Good and Yuna are going to have to, I guess, go back around the embankment in top lane. Everyone grouping up around this top lane. Exclamation and Sleepyhead, the only two not with this group. So we have a full 4v4 if there should be a fight that breaks out. And this tier 1 is going to be the target. Victor is just trying to chase down Udyr, which I actually don't know if he wins. That's a pretty close fight. And now my internet is shitting the bed. Excellent. We're dropping frames like a mofo. Mofos occasionally do drop frames.
Ooh, nice barrel cask.
But there's the
Paragon with no flash.
Yuna pulls in Paragon, chunks him pretty low. Not quite able to find that damage, though. Yuna very low. The handshake not quite there from Hot Damn Jam. And he's going to just die without being able to use his W. Exclamation gets caught on the other side, has to use the gravity well defensively. He'll drop in the Chaos Storm. He's just trying to chunk through Flyer. They'll get one kill as Indigo's able to get the cash out in the killing spree. And that's it. It's 1-for-1, but OMT still able to have the pressure. They still have the better health bars, so they'll be able to grab this turret on the end. Maybe Netflix and Zill wants a little bit more. Walks in with the Mantra Q, and I don't think ROTM wants to fight at this point. They just want to get back to base and try to defend their tier 2.
That was a big pull from Yuna, pulling in Paragon into the tower, getting some damage off on him. But unfortunately, Exclamation also getting picked slow down on the side once
he's so low. Yuna pulls him over the wall. Netflix and Zill is gone. Yuna on the rampage now. These two solo laners trying their best for ROTM. Yuna gets the little speed boost. He's trying to pursue Paragon, but not going to be able to find anything. Maybe he is. He's still zooming on in there. Now gets Buster shot away. That should be the end of the chase. Teleport coming in from Exclamation. ROTM are going to set up for the Baron potentially, and OMT don't have a support right now. They have Sleepyhead. I thought he was low, but I guess he isn't. The cask just to do a little bit of chunk and delay this inevitable Baron take from ROTM. And they're now onto the Baron. Sleepyhead walking in. Both of the marksmen are back in base right now. They're walking in from base. I just can't stop talking. I'm sorry, Atlas. It's 6,000, 5,000 now on the Dragon, the Baron. Sleepyhead around the outside gets sent away by the Poppy ult, and it's secured by return of the Middlesticks. They burn the Victor ult in the process, and now they'll scoot a boot and get out.
What a Baron pickup. I was just about to say how the Rodham got back on the map faster than Paragon and Flyer were able to. I'm really impressed to see that they actually made that Baron call. It was such a good call, especially with Poppy having her ult up, so no threat was actually around. It looks like they want to start shifting this vision down towards the bot side with Dragon being spawned pretty soon. That was a really good Baron play. What they do with it, we will see, because with Rodham not having their top side towers, it's going to be kind of risky pushing out this far.
Feels like the checklist has to be to get mid-prio and then get this dragon, because you cannot give Ocean Soul to the Udyr Gragas Karma team.
Definitely not. If the Gragas wasn't already unkillable, giving him Ocean Soul.
RTM setting up just a little bit for this mid-play. They'll have to shove this wave and the next one before the dragon spawns, so what are we going to see? Anything special from ROTM? Giga is going back to base right now. Just going to grab an extra blasting wand for his pocket, and then teleports back to the tier 2. That's out of vision of ROTM, so they're not going to see that he used the teleport unless they were very much paying attention to their mini-map, which, I don't know about you, but that thing's basically invisible for me. All the years of StarCraft embedded in me, but it's on the opposite side than StarCraft, so I can't look at it.
Exclamation was actually able to get a death cap on his back.
Yeah, Kyle looking for the initiation. Can't find the immediate stun. Gets hit by the Chain of Corruption. A lot of damage coming through onto the Poppy. The Renata
Oh,
ult just sailing a
Sleepyhead?
little bit wide, but Sleepyhead gets chucked through. He gets
Oh!
pinned into the wall, and Endigo finishes him off. Exclamation gets blasted back by the Gragas Barrel Flyer, trying to get out. The Whirling Death not quite able to chunk him through. Yuna flashes forward, hits the
Oh,
Nazi and
Yuna.
Guillotine, but it's not quite enough damage to finish him off. But the Dragon Pit is secure, and that'll go over to Return to the Middlesticks.
Yeah, I think there was a bit of miscommunication because with Giga using his barrel cask, it actually kind of screwed over Paragon's Chain of Corruption. It actually found nobody in that fight, which kind of explains exactly what this comp is about. You got Udyr going in, you got Gragas displacing everybody, but there's no hard CC after that. They need that Varus ult to land for Flyer to do some damage and for Netflix and Zill to follow up with some roots. But again, bit of miscommunication there on what they want to do. And then Sleepy just going balls to the walls. Literally, he got slammed to the wall.
Yeah. I don't know if it was the balls or the butt that hit the wall first. I didn't see the Udyr orientation. And I mean, at least new Udyr would have a little bit more padding, right? It's not quite like this paper bag Udyr. And Sleepyhead didn't even pay for the visual update yet. That's a little unfortunate for him. He's just on base Udyr. Oh no, he's not. It's I don't know what you call Dragon Oracle Udyr. I'm losing track of this joke already. Anyway, it's a 1,500 gold lead for ROTM. Baron has just fallen off just now. 1 second to go.
It definitely feels like Rodham is now back on the driver's seat in this game. Oh, almost great pick down to Netflix and Zill. But it definitely feels like they're back onto the driver's
Giga
seat.
is
Oh,
getting
is he gonna
huge
solo kill?
chunked. Is the Chaos Storm? It is enough. It's the solo kill for Exclamation. Meanwhile, Kyle Good just walks in and finds Sleepyhead. I don't think he was expecting the Udyr there, so not really going to get a whole lot extra. But that pick on the bot lane means that ROTM can filter on down there and get through that bot lane tier 2 tower.
Wow. That is a great pickup. They're definitely going to be able to get this bot tower. I cannot believe... Well, he does have Shadow Flame, but that is a lot of damage for coming out from this Victor onto what is supposed to be the second tankiest person on their team.
Look at his farm. Man has 331 farm at 33 minutes. Like, just a casual 10 CS a minute bomb from Exclamation. It has the very casual Flame Horizon. Like, it's Hyperdoodles just said, is a bit of a mid gap, as it turns out. At least so far. We'll see if Flyer can turn it around, but we thought highly of the Tristana counter pick, and then we didn't really see it play out the way that we had hoped to. It wasn't aggressive enough in the early game to really cause Exclamation any sort of harm, and now he's farmed into just monster mode. Absolute Crown Victor versus Double Lift mode.
Yeah, with this Darius being ahead and having Ghost, it's kind of hard for Paragon to actually be able to deal damage to the Victor or their bot or Rodham's bot lane because you're so concerned about Darius running towards you. You're also so concerned about misstepping onto Victor E or his ultimate. It's actually kind of sucks to have the Varus in a better position than Tristana. This is why we were talking about the lane swap, or not the lane swap, the champion swap, having Tristana go bot lane. If Tristana was able to have that lead instead of that Varus early game, I definitely do think we have a different game here. But it's hard for Flyer to really go in. I think Exclamation has been playing the matchup really well. Like you said, 10 CS, almost 10 CS a minute. I really don't see.
It's not almost. It's over. We're
over. Yeah,
we're cresting that at this point. We're on the way to 11. Baron is gonna spawn here in 14 seconds, which ROTM seems to know. They're definitely staked out for it, and OMT so far just trying to get mid prio so that they can attempt to walk in. Teleport comes in from Exclamation, and the big purple worm spawns. Is this even a fight from Omega Titan Esports? Do they look for this?
I think
Sleepyhead around the side. He can't get into the pit unless there's a blast cone back there. Maybe he thought he had flash? I'm not really sure. It didn't work out regardless, and a second Baron goes the way of RTM.
RTM does have to respond to that mid wave. It does look like OMT is going to be able to get to this dragon side and ward up first. Radov's not going to be back on time on the map. They're definitely going to have control over their blue jungle right now. Looks like they want to do a death push.
Yeah. That's a lot of crowd control and a lot of damage represented on that bush, and ROTM is just trying to shepherd in this mid wave. They get spotted on that blue trinket. They'll find Giga. Kyle Good takes a little chunk of damage. There's 10 seconds to go on this Ocean Soul potential spawn. Poppy winding up the Keeper's Verdict, but not going to choose to use it. Hold on. I think that cooldown is like 10 to 15 seconds rather than a full cooldown. Oh, Yuna's on a flank. Oh my god!
Oh,
Flyer's
Flyer.
just dead! What the hell was that? Yuna gets the pull back in. He's got the flank. They're good explosive cast to try to disengage, but it just doesn't matter. Kyle Good looking for Netflix and Zill. They're going to settle for Giga. It's a triple kill for Exclamation, and Netflix and Zill trying to flee away from the victor. He's got the speed boost. He's got the little slows. I don't know. He just hits him with the laser, the Q to follow for the auto. There it is, Exclamation with the quadra kill on the victor, and now Yuna finds Sleepyhead. I don't think he can really do anything here.
Big
Oh, maybe he
misposition
can,
from
the
Flyer.
Strikebreaker.
Oh, he
Oh
does.
my god, alright.
They're gonna be able to get both inhibitors from only mid lane, but bot lane as well. I don't know if they could actually end the game if they just rush mid right now. They have way too long of death timers. Only Flyer will be up in time, Paragon next, but no flash from Paragon being used trying to get away from the Darius. Like I was saying earlier, it's too much tankiness from Darius for Paragon to actually do something. It is an on-hit Varus. This just sucks to go against. In these fights, you kind of have to save your chain of corruption for him. But Flyer being the one caught out in that dragon fight and just spelled chaos for everybody else. Wow, what a fight.
That was an insane amount of damage from Exclamation. Just 100 to 0, like... I don't know, did anybody else touch him? I think it was just a solo kill to start it out for Exclamation.
I literally blinked and he was gone.
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought there was a durability patch, but I guess I was wrong. I don't know. It was a 3,000 gold lead after that second Baron for Return of the Middlesticks, and now it's 8,000 after that Dragon play, so... And we go to Dragon 7. They have a potential
Sleepyhead?
Ocean Soul here in a couple of minutes, but they might not even need it. They'll pull in Sleepyhead. A lot of damage coming through from the Victor. Noxie and Guillotine, not quite enough, but they'll force him back and be able to regroup with Indigo. They have the Baron minions coming in. They have the Super minions coming in the other two lanes. This is... It doesn't have to be a death push, and it probably isn't, because now Baron's gone. But this is still going to be hard to defend for OMT.
We're nearing the 40-minute mark. Definitely gonna be really hard for OTM to defend this turn. I'm them. I'm just gonna give this turn up. I'm gonna bring up Giga. I'm gonna bring up Tristana. We have to defend this base here.
God, Unit exclamation bought a blue pot, and with the blue pot plus the Lich Bane, it's like you can see his autos as Victor on the turret, which is,
Oh, Chain of Corruption miss.
yeah, that was enterprising from Paragon. But not quite able to find it. Now the speed boost coming in. They're looking for Flyer. That's just
Flyer.
a Q into the...
Oh, Exclamation's gonna go down.
It's a good barrel. He's got the Renata W. Doesn't have a stopwatch, though, to be able to buy a little bit of extra time. Actually, all of his stacks fall off. Yuna's just underneath the tower, though. Doesn't really care. Indigo chunking on through a couple more autos. He's almost dead. Kyle Good is in, but Yuna's resetting for a double kill. And it's just Giga left alive versus the four-man squad from ROTM. Somehow, that play actually works out for Return of the Middlesticks. Yuna pulls Giga back off of the fountain. They'll get him with a handshake. They'll hit him with the Noxie and Guillotine, and he'll live through the Nexus dying. RTM wins game number 1, 21 to 10. That was a banger. What are your thoughts?
That was exactly how I was hoping the game to go. Rodham stalling it out as long as possible to be able to get back into this game. Obviously, their bot lane was a bit of misfortune early on in the game, but that's a banger game 1.
Yeah, we'll be right back with game number 2. ROTM up 1-0. Now with the little advantage, we'll see how OMT's able to respond. Yo, Lane, thanks for the 5 gift subs. Oh, even you got one there, Atlas.
I did. Holy snap. Thank you, Lane.
The targeted gift sub. I think he hits the random button, but...
That was a very good win, though. I'm really impressed to see that Rodham stuck it out, even though they had a bit of a mishap in the bot lane. Not only Indigo going down first blood, but Kyle Good messing up on the last hit onto on Netflix and Zill. But still, either way, it was a banger game one. I'm really excited to see what the bans come out to be for this next game. Um, if I'm Rodham, I definitely have the big momentum here. I think you keep the same bans and just rinse and repeat.
Yeah, so we'll take a little break and we'll be back with game 2.
Yep.
I'm gonna go run my dog out really quick. If they start, it won't be up on screen. That's all I got.
Okay.
All right, I'm back.
They haven't started yet. They are picking red side though.
Okay.
OTM is.
OMT. I don't really understand why they take the M from Omega as their M in OMT.
I think it's cool.
Yeah, they could just be OTE, Omega Titan Esports. E's for esports. I don't know. I guess that's better. I don't like teams with esports or like gaming at the end of their name. Like that's kind of played out, you know.
I feel like with having esports at the end of your team name, it definitely makes it like more like a shooter team instead of like a league team. I'm just so used to having a bunch of like Call of Duty teams just saying like esports and such like that on their organizations.
I was trying to think, even like the pro teams in NA do a pretty good job at that. I don't think there's any more gamings or esports teams.
I think the last gaming team was it not Clutch Gaming?
Yeah, Clutch Gaming. And then like in Europe, there's XL Esports, which I thought was funny. So
There's also
they
EDG.
they had yeah, but that's China. That's different flavor, you know.
Okay.
Um, but they had like the ESPN the Ocho thing the other day, so just showing a bunch of random games. There was like a financial modeling competition, so they literally were playing like Microsoft Excel as an esport almost. That tickled me for some reason.
Creativity at its finest.
You jumped down there. You didn't want to play with the Grandmaster and Master.
I'll fill in.
Okay.
So, with game 1 out of the way, I must ask you, early prediction, who was your series MVP so far after game 1?
After game 1?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. It's probably exclamation. I don't know that there's a whole lot more to say about that one. Like, you could maybe make an argument for Yuna, and I will because I love Yuna. He's my boy. Mostly just because he plays the most fun games to cast, and he plays the most fun champions. It's like we had a... He's following in the long line of Rodham top laners who go kind of sicko mode sometimes.
I like that. Yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna have to go with exclamation definitely being so far the super early MVP of the series so far. He had a big game 1. Played in lane matchup really well. A lot of times when you see Tristana going against the Victor, you kind of automatically think Tristana's gonna win. But after a while, definitely clawed his way back, or not clawed his way back. He had a good laning phase. Bot lane clawing the way back for Rodham. Yuna doing the beast things that he is. I can definitely agree with exclamation being the MVP so far.
Yeah, but we'll have to see how we file into game number 2. Everybody's in the lobby, so we're just waiting.
I think this is a new team. It says Rodham versus Khaos.
I mean, that's their OMT Khaos. Like, it's fair. I also don't have that on stream. All I see is champion boxes, so.
You know, one thing I've always wanted to say, and I keep forgetting to say this into the Twitch channel, I love the overlays you have of the crows when there's downtime. My favorite one is the one of the crow putting the circles back onto the little container thing.
Oh, the one on the splash screen? Yeah, that's the...
That is my favorite one. Yes, this one. This is my favorite one of all time. I don't know where you find these, but they're great.
Oh, one point why are you telling him you're welcome, Lane? I'm the one that did all the work. Oh, no, you're thanking him for the gift sub. Okay. No, that's fair. No, that's... We're chill now. I did nothing about the gift sub. My bad. Sometimes you have to read more than the one comment that you see on the stream. That's a little rough. Alright, we're into draft for game number 2. OMT selected red side. I didn't update the scoreboard. We're doing it. There we go. Now we've updated the scoreboard. Alright, bans. Game number 2. Unchanged. Actually, never mind. They're definitely changed. Poppy is gone. Kyle Good will not be playing that champion.
Yeah, it looks like they swapped out the Poppy ban for, I believe it was Yasuo that was not taken away. No, it wasn't Yasuo. I'm trolling. It was the Wukong not being banned out yet. Like I said in the first game, after game 1, it kind of opens up the eyes for everyone else on what they want to actually ban.
Ooh, okay.
Aegis and Poppy being banned out.
So
Poppy was that much of a problem.
The Poppy, I think, set up a lot of plays for them. I'm very curious now. The Trundle was banned in game number 1. Now that's left open, so theoretically a flex pick. Yuna, I'm sure, can play it. It's not like it's a particularly complicated champion to play. But this is one of the kind of classical good matchups into the Trundle, as you take the Graves and you just farm and run away from him.
Yeah, Graves.
Oh, and they take the Draven. Okay.
Draven.
So that's a pick where if we see Paragon get the same lead that he did in game number 1, that turns very scary now for OMT. So ROTM will need an answer, something that can either go toe-to-toe with him, or there's the other option, avoid it altogether. You just play safe.
Yeah, if Paragon gets this lead again like he did last game going into the Ezreal matchup, I think it'd probably be more suitable for him, unless they go some type of defensive or some type of good support that pairs up really well with Ezreal. There really isn't that much that pairs up with him. Most everything is kind of like not fitting for him. He kind of just wants to sit in the back early on. But let's see what he grabs.
Yeah, everything's just kind of fine. The Karma, hopefully we see something else that Karma can buff, because it's not like the most impactful to buff Ezreal. Does well into the Trundle, but yeah, you get the Draven Renata lane. That looks familiar. OMT just says thank you. That looked pretty fun. We'll try that.
Yeah, it looks like they're basically saying, hey, you guys couldn't do it, so we're going to do it for you. No flame.
And there's Victor. Gone. That feels reasonable. No. No notes.
Respectable.
Why would you ban Renata's already picked, right?
Yeah, that is kind of a weird ban. I think that's a misclick, maybe? Unless they want it? They haven't typed anything in the game client about it being a different pick.
I mean, it wasn't like the time ran out. That's just actually what they wanted to ban, and they're going to ban Galio? That makes a little bit more sense. But it's not like Renata can't play another lane. Just actually can't. I have yet to see it. And Nautilus, I mean, theoretically can jungle, but do you really want Nautilus jungle when anything else is open?
Yeah, I'm not sure why they would want the Nautilus ban, but nonetheless, they do have some type of identity going on for Rodham. Swain being picked up. For Rodham, it looks like so far they want to do something similar with OMT did last game, where they're just kind of running around in these team fights. Obviously, having a sped up Trundle is definitely a death sentence for either Graves or Draven. I definitely don't want any of that.
Yeah, so far no real hard engage from either side, so I'm curious to see if we have something that'll fill either of those roles. But we've got Soigné for OMT in the Sejuani top. Okay, yeah, I got my wish. There's some hard engage. We did it.
And the best one too.
I mean, I imagine Sejuani top. I theoretically could be Sejuani jungle with the Trundle top, but which I guess fits both junglers a little better, or both players a little bit better. But I don't want to see it. I don't want to see Orianna in my game. Don't pick that one. All right, we did it. Unlucky. I'm just noted Orianna disliker. I think it's a fine pick in the situation. You have the ball delivery with Sejuani. It's just... from the explosiveness that we saw in Game 1, this is very stock standard pro team drafting for RTM, which is... I don't think their style. OMT's going to pick Heimerdinger. Why not? Sure, we got the Dogger.
You know, after looking at this draft, Heimerdinger, Swain, Renata, Draven, Great, this is a lot of like disruption going on in this team fight. They definitely want Rodham to head towards them. They want the Trundle and the Sejuani to go in forward as much as possible for them to cause chaos. But this could just be something like what happened last game, where the main part of the team, which is the Draven Renata, gets sent back so early and they lose their lead and they don't get to fall back until later on. So I hope to see that this time OTM can pull off the Draven Renata a lot better. I would love for it to be shown Draven's actual true power to be
such a bot lane dominance once he gets that small lead.
We're waiting on both teams to ready up. Paragon says that they're ready. Indigo says they're ready. So now somebody needs to hit the button, and they're into second draft. I'm not going to flip the screen over for a while because we get to look at this and try to make sense of how OMT's going to play team fights, because they have approximately 0 initiation.
Yeah, so they definitely want the Sejuani and Trundle to go in. It's just definitely like, hey, come into us. We want you to fight in our jungle or in the Dragon Pit or in the Baron Pit. We want you to come to us rather than us having to waste our defensive spells trying to engage. I'm pretty sure that Sejuani is going to be licking her lips once Heimerdinger throws out his stun, or Swain throws out his root, or Renata misses her hook. So it's definitely something that Omega wants them to come into us. But for Rodham, it's kind of similar to what they had last game, where individual picks, great, but team fight 5v5 is what they want.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and flip that one over. But we are well and settled in now into our best of 5. 1-0 for our return to the Middlesticks OMT. Pulling out the Giga Special Heimerdinger in game number 2 to try to get that punch back, which, I mean, it goes without saying you don't want to fall behind 2-0, but, you know, statistically, much harder to come back from 2-0 than it is 1-0.
I would also like, just for the thrill of the series, I would love for it to go to 5, but due to my bedtime says no.
I'm right there. Yeah, hard agree.
It's gonna get to a point in this game where Trundle's just gonna be way too tanky to deal with. I mean, I don't think I'll see Graves out like peeling the crap out of a Trundle. I don't see that happening. Nor do I see that from Swain, but I think it's going to be similar to like last game. Yuna's just going to get to a point in the game where he's just not only unkillable, but he's also unstoppable. And it's going to be hard for Omega to kind of play their style as much as they want Rodham to engage and Rodham to go into their front line. It's going to be kind of hard for Omega to stop the bleeding if they get behind at any point in this game. We already seen what a Draven looks like when he's behind. I'm pretty sure they don't want that to happen to them this game.
Yeah. Well, we're counting down. This will confirm that it's the unit top lane Sejuani and the jungle Trundle for Kyle Good in like 10 more seconds.
I'm actually not going to swap it. I would actually want to swap that.
I don't think I would. I think you just can't really farm as Trundle against Heimerdinger. I think that's much more difficult than trying to farm as Sejuani.
That's true. That's fair enough.
If that were the only sort of thing that we're looking at, that, and I think Trundle is just straight up the better jungler right now. I don't think Sejuani's like super great in the jungle. Like, it's one of those, theoretically this is a flex pick, but like at the end of the day, it's, you know, 90 top lane, 10 jungle, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we're locked in and into spectator delay. Do we have enough people? Let's see. How many people we vibing with? We got 26 people? Insane. Thank you, guys. Let's get you some Gambas then.
So now that we have the an idea of where the Sejuani and the Trundle is going, any favorable matchups that you like here? Any comps? Any difference that you see from game 1?
Sorry, I'm doing a Gamba.
I'll answer your question for you.
Okay.
I do like more CC coming out from this top lane, against this slow bleeding top laner versus Heimer, but I'm more favorable on Omega side. I know I said that last game when they lost, but I'm really excited to see uh I'm really excited to see the Swain being picked up and Renata going against the Trundle this time. Renata all going against what was it last game? Udyr and Varus wasn't really the best, but it's definitely something I would like to see go against Trundle. So I am more than 100% comfortable with Rodham's comp later on in the game. Early game, not so much, but let's see if they can hold themselves from making that early mistake they did last game that kind of hindered them from being dominant. So definitely favoring Rodham. Caster bias, of course, but really excited to see where this game 2 goes.
Yeah, Gamble's up in the chat. Vote if you think um, Paragon plus Giga are going to have more kills or the other 3 people on OMT. All right, we're anteing up the 420 versus 420 classic. All right. What do you think? Who's gonna have more kills? Atlas.
It's hard to say. I definitely do see Paragon developing a lead bot lane, but what's gonna happen outside of bot lane once that first turn falls? Is he gonna kill the Orianna who's gonna be a monitor away, or the Trundle running at him, or the Sejuani coming from the fog of war? It's a lot of like ifs. The other 3, I don't see Swain really racking up a lot of kills early, so I'm gonna have to go with Paragon and Giga. But if it was just Paragon, then yes, I would go for Paragon and Giga, or just Paragon, the blue bet. But if it's Paragon and Giga, I don't know. I don't think those 2 together will definitely rank up more kills than the other 3. So I'm gonna go ahead and place my bet on the other 3.
All right, let's see it. Throw those points in there, Atlas. Risk them on there.
Yeah, Heimer being picked up, it's great disruption.
Do
I'm
you like
throwing
that
in
you
50.
do you like that you have the same name but spelled differently than an LCK caster?
Yeah,
Is that a consideration?
I actually am in the middle of a lawsuit with that person.
Oh, with Atlas.
Yeah, we're settling to have the total rights for the name on my side.
Gonna play Mundo Dodgeball for the
Yeah,
title of one true Atlas.
we're also gonna have a Yumi 1v1 in the mid lane.
The only real way to settle things in League of Legends. No one wants to bite on Paragon Giga. A little surprised.
Yeah, like I said, it's if it goes as well as last game, their early game, then yeah, I bet money. But this is Ezreal we're talking about, someone who doesn't want to be anywhere near Draven at least the first 4 levels. So I definitely don't think that they're gonna be able to rank up or get ahead early as possible and get those kills. But yeah, go once that first tower falls down and he's going against Sejuani and Trundle, yeah.
Well, we'll have to see how it goes. Welcome back to Summoner's Rift. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. I always like this 5-point that the Masters team does. It's not the most traditional 5-point, and theoretically you could exploit it by like walking mid and hugging the vision, and like you could tiptoe your way in there, but you're so safe from that bottom lane invade.
Yeah, seeing how well they've
Oh,
that
you couldn't
Rodham
even do
has
it this
actually,
game because there's a ball.
yeah,
Yeah, never mind.
seeing how well Rodham has actually like been 5-pointing just from the last game start definitely shows that OTM is gonna have to be a lot smarter with their invades, and with them choosing not to, which I understand why. Um, it's definitely it's definitely a lot riskier for OTM to want to invade this time. I know they have the CC for it. They have the root from Swain and Renata, but no ignite. No ignite from Netflix or Flyer.
Yeah, so here we go. Sleepyhead started on his top side, so is Kyle Good. So both clearing toward what might be a very volatile bottom lane with the Draven in it, and already the Mantra Q from Hot Damn just to say hello to Netflix and Chill in the lane. In this game, kind of interesting, Hot Damn going for, I mean, both supports really going for that Frostfang, so looking to do a little bit more poking than last game, when I think both had Relic Shield. I know Hot
Yes.
Damn did on the Renata, but yeah, this is kind of the struggle. Oh, you can do it. All right. I'm feeling confident about the Sejuani pick now after W plus auto clears turrets. I didn't realize it'd be quite so easy. Um, that's a lot of damage though from Giga. Man, top lane Heimer is just so annoying to play against.
It really is. It really is. In the early matchup, yes, it's going to be annoying, but when Sejuani has like 17 HP bars later on, it's definitely going to be more favorable towards her. I don't think they're going to be concerned about the damage Heimer's going to put out.
It's an interesting ward. Was able to find Sleepyhead. I guess exclamation slid down and place that to see what was going on and for the crab, and Kyle and just walk it. Oh, he flashes in! Level 3, Hot Damn and exclamation both on the way. Mantra Q tags him. He's got the slow. He's got no flash, and it's first blood for exclamation on the Orianna.
You have to respect that invade. You can't be invading, especially when your bot lane does not have prio. That's gold elo mistakes. That's really bad of a mistake. And especially with exclamation getting that kill, it looks like I'm gonna be winning that bet.
Exclamation's not on the list.
Oh wait, no, you're right. It's the other three on OTM.
Yeah.
My apologies. I am not gonna win now.
I mean, I feel like I've cursed the team that I've done this particular prediction on so many times. There was once I did it for ROTM, and the final kill count was 1 for Return of the Middlesticks. It was very funny, but it's like, oh yeah, it was 1 kill to 0, so, you know, the top laner in the 81, or whatever it was. Oh.
Kyle good mid. I didn't even see that happen.
Yeah, he just walks in. He doesn't have flash, so getting the flash out of Flyer is kind of surprising, but really active so far on the Trundle. Already with the big play for the kill on the Sleepyhead, and now following that up with blowing the flash in mid has put on a lot of pressure, and it's kind of interesting to see the way Sleepyhead still wants to scrap with him. They're still headed to the same sides of the map. The sync teleports back to lane from exclamation and unit. Always like that synergy, but
yeah, Sleepyhead's gonna have to give up this top side of the map pressure, even though it will be kind of hard to gank Giga in the top lane. He's definitely gonna have to surrender that over and pretty much just play for this bot lane that is losing up a lot of trade damage.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, Kyle Good got the double crab, which shouldn't happen in the Graves Trundle matchup. And then now, already with the 1 kill, the Draven lane's losing. This is a little scary early on. It's already 1,000 gold lead for ROTM.
Yeah, definitely something that OTM has to understand. Even with Sleepyhead gambling on that invade, you gotta respect the fact that Rodham wants to run you down. There's no point in this.
He'll use, but Sleepyhead's found a little angle here into the bot lane, and the Eye of Sauron means Hot Damn has to walk back in. Oh, just dodges out of the handshake. That might be enough, but he's got the root still on him. Can he get away? Hot Damn low. It's just not quite enough. Paragon gets the cash out. Indigo still looking for what he can, but won't be able to find the return kill on anyone just yet, and the gank pays off. It was a slow process, but eventually Paragon got the cash in.
It was going so good and so well for Rodham in the bot lane, but that's a big swing over to this bot lane for OTM. Being able to cash in, he's definitely going to be able to come back. Maybe have an item advantage over. Flyer getting ulted back in.
Yeah, Shockwave in. He uses the Demonic Ascension just
Good's
for a
coming
little
in.
bit of extra health. The pillar comes out. Kyle Good has to use the bird bomb for the healing, and Exclamation has enough damage. It's a second kill on Oriana, and Exclamation picking up right where he left off from game 1.
Yeah, Flyer took way too long getting that level 6. Not fast enough, unfortunately, and now he's gonna lose a lot of gold in this mid wave just being pushed in, and a lot of damage being put onto Sleepy. They're gonna
Yeah,
have to give up this dragon now.
I really like how aggressive both Karmas have been. Sometimes you fall into the trap of I pick Karma, all I do is just sit back, shield my team, but both of them have been willing to go in and do the dirty work, get that root down, take an extra tower shot, get the mantra Q off.
Yeah, I
Makes it
will
look like
agree.
an aggressive enchanter. Always
Yeah,
fun.
some Chad Karma players.
Oh, Yuna gets interrupted.
So with Dragon being picked up from the bottoms with for Rodham, I do think that OTN could still probably prep for this Rift Herald. Trundle's gonna back one way or another, and with TP being blown from not only Sejuani but the Oriana as well, I could definitely see OTM wanting to pressure this Rift Herald once it spawns.
Yeah, and Sleepyhead's worked himself down toward that Gromp. They might look for a dive on Yuna. He's getting relatively low. You have the upgrade on Giga. You have the collateral damage. You just don't have a lot to really tank the tower up. So have to be careful about how you manage that. And Kyle Good
How good
up
is
here
here
to
though?
defend his top laner. Sleepyhead getting bonked into by the Winter's
Oh,
Assault. They get the Sejuani ult. Do they actually have the damage to chunk through? He's so low and eventually burns down to the subjugate from Kyle Good.
that feels bad. I mean, that is very, very rough. They no longer had the Rift Herald pressure. It's exactly what Kyle was probably thinking. I just finished backing. He's probably gonna be on my blue side, pressuring this Rift Herald. Let me go up there, and they actually managed to catch him out. They stopped him too from taking not only the blast plant, but also his dash as well.
Yuna is hanging around. He's trying to get this. This is the Heimerdinger top experience, unfortunately. And now Flyer has walked his way down into bottom lane. Arcane Shift over. He dodges out of the claw. Eye of Sauron not quite able to connect on Hot Dam, but a little bit of damage from the Bird Bomb. Nice happy feet from Hot Dam. Like to see that. And they'll just collect this wave underneath tower.
I think that was more of a tilt roam. He knows he's not really winning up the matchup in mid lane. Obviously, Exclamation is getting a CS lead over him.
Oh, and Indigo
But
interrupted his recall too with the True Shot Barrage.
oh, now he's gonna be down even more gold. Sleepy is gonna have to be forced to cover, and that gives up the Rift Herald for them as well.
Yeah, and Kyle notes that. Thank you very much for the Rift Herald. Here in just a second, we'll see that
Oh,
come
he
into his
ults back in.
inventory. Yeah, the
Is
ult.
he gonna die?
Sleepyhead so low. Yeah, Kyle Exclamation doesn't quite have anything left in the tank. No flash, no QW. But I mean, now he's forced 2 people off of this mid wave. What a monster.
Yeah, this is like I was saying. Rodham wants to run you down. You can't really send Swain to roam down bottom lane. I mean, sure he did miss his root, but like there's no damage output coming out. You have to respect Ezreal not only having E but his flash as well. Karma being able to flash and shield herself out of there, but you gotta respect the fact that you can't really run into them. It's Rodham running into you, and you have to make do with what you got after.
A little slow, but Kyle is here. The mid jungle 2v2 that we've been waiting for. Maybe gonna happen. Maybe not. Exclamation doesn't have ult, but neither does Flyer right now, so it's not likely to happen, I think. And Kyle will grab what I think is his 4th and 4-0 on the crab count. The only thing that matters to junglers, right?
Yes, we love our crabs. I'm not a jungler, but we do love our crabs. It's always a satisfying feeling when you look at the minimap and both of the crabs have been taken in for your team.
Did you play Elden Ring? This has a purpose. I'm not just...
I'm actually going to tomorrow.
Okay. Well, then I won't say what I'm about to say, and good luck with it, and let me know if you want to play, because
Most
that's like
definitely.
my favorite game that I've played in quite a while. Sleepyhead very low. He just gets the reset, and the hostile takeover comes back through, but Indigo
Oh, Indigo.
in with the True Shot Barrage, picks up 1 kill. The shotgun
Oh,
comes in.
no.
They're able to turn that one around, and Netflix and Zill in trouble with a good handshake. He throws Indigo back into exclamation. Do they have the damage here? Paragon threatening, now turning it on with the Draven. Hot damn, just trying to help out over the wall, but no one can take more than a couple of autos from the Draven, but it looks like they'll successfully herd him back to safety. So, a fight win unless Indigo executes to the Krugs? Okay, he's fine.
I'm not trying to flame here, but I don't know what Sleepy's thinking when the bot wave is being pushed under to their tower, and he's looking to invade, and the mid wave being so even. I'm not sure why you would want to invade the Trundle who just flashed over the wall to kill you earlier. He knows Trundle's gonna run him down. Why? Well,
Yeah, kind of
big
interesting.
lead for
Sleepyhead does.
exclamation though.
Yeah, it's a huge lead for exclamation. 4-0 plus the 30 CS. We'll talk about that. That's a positive. I was going to say Sleepyhead still is on a decent little power spike right now. He's got his Umbral Glaive finished, so it's not undoable for him right now, but his window's going to close here relatively rapidly if he doesn't find a play or a way into the game. We're enforcing the no emoting rule. That's a rough one.
You know, when you're losing the game this bad, I pretty much would enforce any rule.
I mean,
Give
fair,
whatever you
but
can
like,
as an advantage.
I still don't know why no emoting is a rule when you can. There's a button to turn that one off. Like, I get it if somebody's being rude in chat. Like, can't do a whole lot about that. But like, there's a button in the client that turns off emoting. I don't know. Seems a little rough.
Being used mid.
Yeah. And gonna chunk through most of those plates. Exclamation and Kyle Good kind of hang around. Maybe clean that one up. They don't have to though. This is a fight that's happening. Top laners, am I right?
Just slapping each other. It's nice to see that Rodham is continuing to.
The pillar? Oh, did they sneak
he's gonna
anything
go,
in there? The
he's
subjugate is
flashing on the
enough to
tower.
finish him off. Yeah, that was a little strange, but they get both kills out of it. And the Ignite in top lane. Giga is dead. All right, well, don't emote about that, but it's 3 kills for ROTM. They'll get the mid lane tower as well. And second dragon and whatever they want in top. Like,
First
they can do
tower,
no wrong
3
here in game
kills,
2.
Dragon. My goodness. 5k Goldie now for Rodham. This is it's not a slow bleed. This is a heavy bleed right now for OTM. This is the unfortunate part that you have to play with. You have a winning bot lane, but it's not necessarily really winning. With the amount of plays that's being created around the map, obviously exclamation being able to get a kill and an assist under the mid tower is really demoralizing for Flyer. Obviously didn't have the greatest of game 1s, but now going into the game 2, 0-3, I gotta say the pressure does feel heavy.
Yeah, kind of interesting. We're seeing a little different Draven build from Paragon. We saw the Kraken Slayer build from Indigo in game number 1. This time we're headed for the Eclipse, which is, I guess, I don't know how to put it. It's more, well, I'm not going to get to talk about it. Maybe I will get to talk about it. Who knows? It's, you know what you can expect from the damage of it. There's no variance in the damage, the same way that there is in Kraken Slayer when you're doing crits, is what I'm trying to say. Indigo's just watching his bot lane tower evolve. The Hot Dam's not getting a whole lot done on the other side of the map. This will be a objective bounty eventually for Netflix and Zill and Paragon, which isn't exactly something you want to hand over to Draven, especially because they haven't shut him down just yet.
Yeah, right now OTM is just gonna have to try and claw whatever they can for a gold lead. Obviously, they're not really having the best of Rift Trail control, but like you said, they want to get this bot tower just so they can get some type of gold back. With how far they've fallen behind. But even then, so Rift Herald's now going to be taken.
Yeah, Sheila going to be the target for Return of the Middlesticks. They don't have a great target for it. Maybe top lane just to bust it down.
I think top lane will be the most optimal choice because you want to free up the Sejuani to be able to cause chaos with everywhere else on the map. You already got Trundle who's running down Graves, and as we've seen swaying down in the mid lane, it'd be a lot harder for them to peel back with a Sejuani following up as well, or leading the rundowns and anywhere else on the map. Um, there's really no one on Rodham who cares to match up with Heimerdinger, so Sejuani's gonna have free range to run around the map here. Um, I'm curious to see what they want to do now. Do they probably want to get that bot turn and just see if they can get another pick, or it's a tough position for OTM. I don't see a way they'll be able to climb out of this one unless they really play with Rodham's mistakes right now.
I think it's kind of interesting. Flyer first item to Rylai's Crystal Scepter. I don't know if that's normal and I'm missing something on my Swanee
Oh,
builds. Oh, hot damn! Gets caught over the wall. That was a good sweeper timing from Sleepyhead to be able to find that one, and they'll get the flash out of the Karma. I don't have objective timers up. There we go. Sorry. Sorry, Strim. Now they're up, and we got 2 minutes before an Infernal Dragon spawn. I thought that that'd be a little more significant than it is, and it isn't. So we big chillin', we big vibin' here at a 6,000 gold lead.
I don't understand the Rylai's buy either. I mean, you already have Sejuani who's gonna dash forward to you and guarantee be in front of somebody with her ult. Um, you're guaranteed having Trundle run you down, regardless of the slow. It really doesn't make that sense unless he wants to flash ult into the back line. But you have Ezreal who's gonna dash or what's it, arcane shift away. You have Carmel who's just not gonna die to it, and Orianna also has a shield and speed to get out of it. It doesn't really make sense to build a Rylai's.
I think
Um,
the Rylai's itself is fine, but I just don't know why you would first item that over something else.
Sleepyhead.
Sleepyhead is very low. The True Shot Rush, ooh, not quite enough damage from Indigo, but um, it was a good look, for sure. Exclamation, getting a good look in the bottom lane
Fire?
onto Flyer. Flyer has to use his Eye of Sauron, and it's just not quite enough. Exclamation takes him down with his third solo kill of the game on Orianna, which are words that don't normally go in that order together.
Once again, you can't. It's really hard for us. It's gonna be really hard for Swain to kind of just match the Orianna at this point with how much she has she's two items at this point, and you just barely finish your first. It's gonna suck for Swain to be able to match up anybody.
Kyle looking for Sleepyhead over the wall, but with Netflix and Zill there, I don't think that he can quite find it. Oh, what a
They're going
huge
back
chunk
in.
from Exclamation. They just need a little bit of extra damage, and Kyle could finds it. He flashes forward for the chomp down on Netflix and Zill. Sleepyhead falls. It's a double kill for Kyle Good on the Trundle. Paragon's here, but with Indigo in the pocket as well, there's just nothing that OMT can really do. The Dragon is going to go over to ROTM unless there's a really special Whirling Death from Paragon. The top lane tower died to Yuna during all of that, and I don't know. It just feels like the route's kind of on, and we're going to be left to fill a little bit of time here in game number 2.
Yeah, definitely not the position they want to be into the jungle. Obviously, Trundle not being able to be stopped versus a Graves or a Renata, but it's tough. Like you have to kind of send the. You can't have Swain really be in those jungle fights. You have to send him to Sejuani, because at least Sejuani won't kill him as fast. Actually, he's
Kyle might be
invading
caught
again.
here. This is decent looking. Exclamation doesn't have the most mana. He'll
Oh,
get
he
the
does get
pullback
caught.
onto Sleepyhead. The mistiming just a little bit on the death, I
Paragon
guess.
flashes in.
But yeah, Paragon flashing in, Whirling Death. Oh, just can't quite get enough for the execute. Now Yuna on the outside. That was like a very quick cleanse from Paragon, but yeah, not really going to harm ROTM. They lose Kyle Good. It's a shutdown, but Sleepyhead falls in the process, and we continue playing this game. Are you a fan of B skins? How do you feel about Beamerdinger? Is that what it's called? Heimer? I don't
I think
remember
it's
what the
yeah.
B pun is.
I think it's Beamer Dinger. No, it's what's it? Oh my goodness, I can't remember the name of it. But yes, I am a fan of the skins. I think it's a great skin line. I hope that they can be a little bit more creative with the other ones. Um, my favorite one, obviously, as a ADC main being the Cogma skin.
Yeah, I've gone on record multiple times. BMA is fine. Pugma is an abomination, and you can't play that one and still be on Return to the Middlesticks. So
I agree, respectable.
Nothing
It's a
against
great
nothing against pugs in real life, but Pug Ma is an abomination specifically. I
it's a
need to
great
clarify.
it's a great skin B-Maw, but to compare it to Pugmaw is definitely like a disadvantage. Sleepyhead getting called out though.
Yeah, Sleepyhead pretty low. The Sejuani ult just going to be able to help secure that one. Paragon getting chased down as well. Yuna gets pulled in. Doesn't have the most defensive stats right now, so has to be a little careful about how he handles that one. But he'll just dash away, and it's 14-3. So 2 touchdowns to a field goal in favor of Return of the Middlesticks, and they're going to hit Baron at 21-20.
Yeah, once again, like I've been saying all game, Rodham is running down their jungler and everyone else on OTM. It's definitely a comp diff at this point that we've projected that would happen, but nothing OTM can really do. Baron being taken. Let's see what they're gonna try and do. Renata ult being thrown out.
Yeah, Renata ult comes on through. That's a lot of damage onto Yuna. Kyle Good just continues hitting, and he's got the smite. So Pillar just for the disengage. Flyer looking for something, but he's just going to get pulled in by Shockwave. Exclamation. Trying to put the exclamation on it, and the True Shot Barrage just tickles. The shield didn't quite fall off from the Renata, so. Yeah.
Nothing they will be able to do there at all for OTM. It's kind of rough. You don't have your jungler to contest smite. Your Swain is behind. Draven can't really get a good look because his front line is coming from base and still pushing top lane. It's rough for Draven at this point.
Yeah, Netflix and Zill is he's dead. Not much more to that. They tried to greed a little bit for the objective bounty in mid lane, and it doesn't pay off this time.
If you had switched the betting from kills to death, I'd be winning right now. But I am losing.
Yeah, as we check in, the Paragon Giga duo is ahead of the other 3 right now, 2-1. So big, huge.
Yeah, it definitely does feel like a comp diff. The Heimerdinger, like I said, really questionable.
The pull-in Sleepyhead, that's just so much damage.
He's gonna have to reset.
Yeah, there's just... It looks really miserable to play this game right now as anyone on OMT Khaos. Indigo is fully online, Exclamation's fully online, and that means that they can kind of walk up and bully people off of objectives and absorb any poke that might happen the other way with the Trundle and Sejuani. And Hot Dam's doing a fair chunk of damage as well on the Karma, not to negate him, but the Claw does land onto Indigo. He's got to try to get away. Flyer hits the Bird Bomb on him. He's still almost full health, but has to try to kite back away. The teleport coming in from Exclamation is going to be a little bit late. Paragon's already cashed out. Now Exclamation able to join. Flyer, big Shockwave. Oh, only lands onto 2, I guess, but it's enough to disengage the fight for Return of the Middlesticks. So Indigo a little too far forward, gets picked off, and now... maybe a little more here as the junglers willing to walk into each other. They both saw that on there. Renata just dies to the Karma Q, and Kyle picks up Sleepyhead as well. It's just Paragon and Giga left, and now Yuna's going to push mid at the same time. The Pillar comes in, the Teleport comes in, excuse me. Flyer is there. Paragon doing so much damage actually on the Draven. He's very confident walking forward. Exclamation just trying to find the damage, keep poking and kiting and poking and kiting, and the dragon has spawned. Yuna... not really interested in that, is just going to hit mid lane tower.
Oh, he's coming down from the jungle.
True Shot Barrage tickles Flyer. The Dragon really helping out ROTM right now. Paragon so low. Exclamation flashes back into the Dragon and dies to 1 auto attack from the Dragon, actually, and Paragon picks up that kill. Now Yuna from the top side looking for Flyer, looking to try to get the stun down onto him, and now finally does. They'll pick up that kill and the blue buff, and eventually the Dragon, as Paragon's going to have to... at least gracefully retreat from the members of ROTM. And maybe a little bit more. Yeah, there's the speed boost. Kyle get the chomp down with Yuna collapsing from the top. There's nowhere for him to go. And they have finally tracked down Paragon for the first time this game.
He actually did a fair good amount of damage onto Trundle there. I'm actually pretty concerned if this Draven manages to get another pick like that onto Ezreal first, and then they run him down. So OTM, I'll give them the credit. They played that fight really well, coming from the bot lane turn all the way in their base down to the Dragon Pit. You got the Swain finally on their backline after picking out Ezreal. So great, but then losing out a trade which lets them lose the dragon. I don't really see what they can do, what else they can do other than let Draven just 1v9 this game. It doesn't seem like Heimerdinger is effective at all. It doesn't seem, no offense, it doesn't seem like Swain's gonna be that much effective anymore. Um, it's definitely gonna be a 1v9 game for Paragon, and I'm rooting for him. I it's a it's a rough game. I'm rooting for Paragon. I hope he can pull something out.
He's got the 55% crit Infinity Edge, unfortunately, right now, so needs to find that extra 5%. They pull Yuna in, which, I mean, wasn't super effective for either side, really. Oh my god, just the chunks from the Infernal Soul coming on through, but Hot Damn's going to be the first victim of the fight. They'll eventually be able to take down Sleepyhead, maybe? Flyer is very low. Where's the damage actually coming from? Paragon just flashes in. Indigo eventually has to finish him off. It's 2 for 2 on the map, which honestly is a lot better than you would probably expect given the gold lead right now, and Indigo and Kyle trying to escort the minion wave in mid, exclamations on the bottom wave. They're going to pick up inhibitors, inhibitor tower maybe. Finally the reset comes through for Giga, but Sleepyhead, Netflix, and Zill on the other side. Maybe a little pinch here from OMT. Oh my god, that Q from Indigo. He's feeling it, but he can't quite find the Qs. The dash forward from Sleepyhead.
No.
He gets hit by the autos. It's just a trade. The shutdown does go to Netflix and Zill, unfortunately, and exclamation has better things. He's going to play PvE right now and take down the inhibitor and hopefully get on out of there. Kyle is just trying to chase down Renata and will eventually track her. Oh my god.
Such damage.
It's just an Infernal Soul right now, unfortunately. Kyle Good eventually finds this kill. Oh, they're trying to hand it over to exclamation. All right. Well,
I respect that. I respect them leading on to kill for exclamation. That's pretty BM, but I respect it.
well, and now 30 seconds on the death timer. Like, it staggers OMT even more. Like, it's a good gamesmanship, I think. It's not just the BM waiting to hand it over. It's a little bit of extra time now that they get with Mr. Baron, and they'll be able to chop him down in relatively short manner.
OTM almost comes out on top on that fight. They picked out Hot Damn Jam, so there goes your speed up. They picked out Yuna, there goes one of their frontliners, but they almost picked out Indigo as well, but he manages to arcane shift away and heal his way back up. Unfortunately, with them having one of the Ocean Drakes, but still, not that bad of a fight. Just poor execution. It's just too much bleeding at this point for OTN to make a.
Why is Giga there? We may never know. Sleepyhead's chunked low as well. They'll just finish both of those off, and now Netflix and Zill going to be caught. That'll end game number 2. Exclamation is fighting 1v2. He just kills Paragon with Flyer on top of him, and he'll be able to get away. Why not? Sure. It's the Bud Light Ace for Return of the Middlesticks, and that is about 500 million minions on top of the Nexus right now.
You have one Nexus turret, and you're playing Heimerdinger. Why are you in the jungle? Defend the base.
It's a 2-0 lead for ROTM. They have a chance to close out the series and give us a little bit of an early night in game number 3. So we'll be right back with that one. I need water. I don't know about you. Make sure you drink some water, by the way.
Yeah, big sponsor to all the water companies out there for fueling us all up every day.
All the hydro homies out there.
Mm-hmm. I came prepared. I brought 3 water bottles ready to go. I was prepared for this to go 5 games, but it looks like it might go 3. By the way, for those that are watching, if you are not already following the Ron channel, please feel free to follow. Any followers in the chat?
I survived the trip to get water. I know everyone was worried about me.
I believe they're still debating on what side they want, but still got some downtime. While we wait, we can discuss about the betting I just lost. There goes my 50 points.
Oh, did they get another kill? I couldn't remember. I was about to cash it out, but I wasn't 100% sure.
I think well, the Draven had like 5 kills to the Graves having 1, so it definitely was already definitely already was Paragon and Giga winning that.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna double check just for, because I don't want to damage anyone's channel points. Okay. Yeah, so 1 kill for Giga, 1 kill for Sleepyhead, 5 for Paragon, and 1 for Netflix and Zill. So, yeah, Paragon and Giga is 6, and then everyone else had 2. Cool. Goodbye to your channel points.
So looking at the channel points that you have, this physical emo button, what is this gonna be exactly?
It's a button.
Is it like that?
I'll
button
mail it
that,
to you.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be like one of those buttons. I forgot what it was, but I remember seeing it back in Vine, where they had it's like a red button, but I forgot what it said.
Oh, like one that you push? No, it's like one that you wear on your shirt.
Oh, a pin.
I mean, it's, yeah.
Or pins, buttons are the same thing, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we have them of the emotes for the Twitch stream, and then we have a logo button. So.
Looks like they're starting the ban phase.
All right. Well. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 3 between OMT Khaos and return of the Middlesticks. You're down 2-0 as OMT. Hasn't gone your way so far. What are you looking for in this draft?
Gragas being the first ban out, not that bad of a ban. It's respectable, but I don't think Yuno wants to play that. Nope, looks like it's a miscommunication on the first draft for Autumn. Nothing shows for me.
Yeah, they haven't clarified anything either, so it looks like they're just not banning? That's a controversial strat. Okay, there's the Rumble ban that we've seen. They're just going to accept the drop ban. They're just going to say, my bad, I guess. But yeah, Gragas, Yasuo, Poppy, things that were banned in Game 2 and continue to be banned. What are they looking to first pick here? What have we seen a lot of priority on? Draven seemed fine for Paragon. Maybe that's the play.
Yeah, the Draven was actually a pretty good pick, and it was matching up fairly well bot lane. It was just more of a team diff at one point.
What's the last ban for RTM? Are we just not going to ban anything here? No, it's going to be the Trundle taken away. So no B1 Trundle, which we did see a lot of success on, and the Soraka is left open, which has been banned the first 2 games, and now maybe handed over to Netflix and Zill. Maybe a little gift courtesy of the failed ban phase.
That is pretty risky, not having to be not banning Soraka for Rodham on the first ban. Seraphine pick it up. That's just as bad to give up, but we've seen Seraphine, or I personally have seen Seraphine get B1 almost in every game for AGL, and it has every reason to be respectfully first pick, but definitely not something I would want to give over at the Game 3 moment.
Yeah, did eat a little nerf last patch, but didn't really touch the champion that bad. It seems like still is a monster late game, just a little bit weaker early on. Jarvan going to be picked up for Kyle.
Jarvan is I feel like Jarvan is such a underrated champion right now.
He got a buff last patch, which means that he is immediately viable, because that's how that champion works all the time for some reason. But has been picked around LCS and LEC and stuff after his... like that big of a buff, but enough, I guess. And they're gonna pair that with Nigel Thornberry.
Nigel Thornberry. Sivir being picked out. If I'm OTM, I would probably flex that Seraphine to the bot lane if that's Sivir, just so Seraphine can match the pushing power that Sivir has once she reaches level 3 and 4.
Ooh, in the
Oh, no, it's the
Vayne. All right, everything on the table from OMT. This is their last chance to stay alive in the playoffs. Again, we're in the lower bracket here, so the loser here is eliminated, and the winner continues on to play next week. So big times here, and it's a big Vayne potentially from Paragon.
Vayne definitely feels good against Sivir, but at some point you're just gonna get shoved into your tower way too much when you're playing against Sivir. It's gonna be rough for Vayne in the laning phase, at least the early levels. But like Paragon has been showing, once he gets that lead, he can start pushing a lot harder. But
oh, and it's Zach coming in for Sleepyhead, presumably. I don't think Zach's a top laner right now, but that would be the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
They should flex the Seraphine mid with the Zach being picked up. It'd be just as fine as support, but with Seraphine being able to roam a little bit more better throughout the whole map rather than the bottom side of the map, I think Zach is gonna look to have a great time with Seraphine being mid and being able to roam level 6.
So a lot of times you're looking for things with mobility and interrupt against the Zac. I don't feel like the Senna is necessarily that, but that's what's going to get locked in for RTM.
Yeah, it doesn't feel... It doesn't... I mean, once you get to a certain point, Senna is going to be able to match up just fine against Vayne, but that's if Vayne is behind, which should happen because Sivir is going to be pushing into the lane. But do you really want to waste your time bot lane with Sivir, or do you want to run around with Jarvan? And if you run around with Jarvan, you run into that problem of Seraphine being flexed. Does Seraphine go mid now that you have Nautilus and Lulu banned out? Or does Seraphine stay bot with Senna and Vayne just loses out on farm? It's going to be tough for OTM to kind of... it's going to be tough for OTM to kind of play the game early, but later on in late game, I definitely do see a comeback.
All right, Sejuani, the choice again for Yuna. It was fine last game. Ate a little bit of damage early on from the Heimerdinger. Eventually got the solo kill, a little revenge tour for him, but it's interesting. So you have the option, like you mentioned, to throw Seraphine mid. You'd look at maybe like a Janna with the Vayne is the classic pairing, or the Taric is something that can also come through. Okay. So this is a top laner, and that's Ornn. So there is one person doing damage on this team, and her name is Vayne.
And she is not going to be online until level 6 and level 11. This is rough. This does not look like a good... yeah, if I'm exclamation, I want Victor in this comp.
Yeah, just the amount of zone control and the way you can herd Vayne around with your gravity well. I think that's a value pickup, and that'll be locked in. So, all the eggs in the Paragon basket, which he's had 2 good games thus far. He got ahead on the Varus, and then was unfortunately playing on hit Varus. He got ahead on the Draven, and then just had his team kind of collapse around him in game 2. We'll see if he can put the whole team on his back here in game 3 and start a reverse sweep against Return of the Middlesticks.
If I'm Rodham, I definitely want to have the game plan of let me hover bot lane as much as possible, counter gank the Zac, because like you said, it is all the eggs in one basket. You want Vayne to get ahead, just like how you had Draven ahead last game.
You want to have as much of early lead as possible. There's going to be no time for Vayne to fall behind at any point, because if she gets chunked out during a dragon fight by Victor, or gets caught out by Jarvan, or gets rooted by Senna from a lucky binding, it's game over pretty much. Like, there goes their comp and their damage, like you said. It's I think it's too many eggs in one basket, but Paragon has played good this series so far. He definitely is probably right now their best player on the team so far, as performance wise, as we've been seeing. It's the ultimate test.
Oh, do you want to put together a multi-Twitch? Right now you can take a look at all of the Vanguard League games going on. They have Aegis going on right now, as well as Team Ambition casting. Looks like Team Ambition Black is up 2-0 over Enigma Solar, which would be a little bit of an upset if that one is confirmed. And then From Ashes is up 2-0 on DSG, which I don't remember who that is. Deep Sea Gaming, apparently. So that means that the Demacia division is ahead in all three best of fives right now, 2-0, that are at least on stream. There's one other game, the one that actually, I think, no, it doesn't affect us most. The other lower bracket game right now between VAE Energy and Glacial Esports Black is going to be off stream, it looks like. But yeah, hype time across AVL land. I'll put that in the chat here if you were interested. Oh, I didn't copy it. Never mind, I won't grab it. This is high production value, by the way. There we go. If you're interested in watching all three games at once, just make sure you have the sound on over here and you tune in over here. Give us the numbers and the love.
I have the other 3 games on my other 4 monitors right now.
That sounds like quite a space age setup that you've got.
Yep. I used to work at NASA. I'm lying about that.
I was going to say, I don't actually know you well enough to call the bluff on that one, but I think you're bluffing.
That is the biggest bluff. All right, game 3. So far, we've had a banger game 1. We've had kind of a stomp on game 2. After seeing game 2 now, who do you think is your series MVP so far?
It's still exclamation.
And I completely agree with you. I mean, Indigo had a great Ezreal game. There were definitely a couple fights where, like, it was still in Rodham's favor because Indigo was still alive. I know there was like twice where they almost got to him after they killed their support and top laner, but Indigo has been doing really nice. Hot Damn Jam, I think his karma was really underrated on that last game. I'm pretty sure a lot of those engages with the Mantra E and the speed up from Rylai's or from what is that item called? I can't remember.
Shrelia's Reverie?
Yeah, Shirelles, yeah. The speed up from those two definitely put them at an aggressive position throughout the entire game. You saw Graves was barely able to enter his red or blue side jungle because Karma was there speeding up the Trundle. So I want to say Hot Damn Jam is definitely has been underrated this series. Kyle Good has been getting a lot of good pickup kills. Made a lot of mistakes in that first game 1, but definitely was a big factor on that game 2. And always holding it down in the top lane like you said before. But I agree, Exclamation has been having a great series. I believe he like solo killed both their top laner and their mid laner twice in the side waves.
Yeah, having absolute coming out party. Mr. Chad and Young, as he used to go by. I don't know what happened. This is a different account, I know. But miss him. Hope Chad comes home soon. Oh, a little tired. It is Monday after all. We're allowed one of those.
Yeah, Monday's almost over, everybody. With how far the AGL has gone so far, and seeing your Masters team in the position that they're in right now, your platinum team, your diamond, and your gold and below. How have you been with how everything's been turning out for your team so far? Um, this far in AGL.
I mean, honestly, I have no issues with any of our teams as long as they play all their games. I know that's a low bar, but with all the teams that quit and fall apart and cheat and all of that, just getting through a split with as many teams and as many moving parts as we've had is kind of impressive. Um, but like to have everyone at least make the playoff qualifiers is also uh, really neat. And hopefully our CCS guys can also finish that one in. I know Crowstorm's on a win, and they need to win, and they're in this week. And then I think Banditos are in a similar situation, but they have 2 games that they have to win back to back. So we'll see how it all goes. But we're definitely maxed out on teams right now, and it's a lot to keep track of. But hopefully you guys are all having a good return of the Middlesticks experience.
Yeah, I was actually quite impressed to see the amount of rosters that you have. I believe it was earlier today, right before this series started. Looking at all the rosters that are in Returnal to Middlesticks, and just seeing how well it has been going, not only in AGL but in other leagues that they may be in. I'm not too up to date on that, but it's really nice to see that it's being managed so well.
All right. Well, here we go. Loading in game number 3. And of course, we get the same spectate bug for a 3rd game in a row.
I'm a
Spectacular.
big fan of this Sivir with Ghost.
The Sivir with Ghost to counter the Vayne with Ghost. Talk to me about Ghost on Sivir.
I've been running it a lot on solo queue, and it definitely is like an underrated like summoner spell to have. Um, Obviously with Sivir not having the full movement speed buff anymore on her ult, it definitely makes her a lot less slower when she ults. Like she can't really keep up with her team if they're rushing forward. But I think that running Ghost versus the Vayne, it's gonna be a matter of like, can Vayne catch up with a Sivir that's gonna boomerang you and get extra movement speed while you're already on Ghost. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Having Ghost on Sivir also helps you out running away from the Taric. Even though he has exhaust, it's still gonna be great to have Ghost versus Taric. Um, you can also run away from the Zac, and you can possibly dodge the Aura.
Oh, it's the 5
But
stack. Oh no, Kyle spots him out with the flag, and now he's got to get away. Uh, and he's fine. Maybe he's gonna walk in. Uh, that was really awkward for about 3/10 of a second. Oh, he emoted. Oh no, it's over. All right, well,
series over,
that's it.
forfeited.
Um. Anyway, Hot Damn gets some info on the other side, and we'll get some stacks on that steel shoulder guard, aka the Senna item. I don't know that there's like anybody else in the game that builds that item, except Cairo on Pike. That's the exception.
Yeah, I was about to say maybe Pike, but I don't know about anything else. But yeah, like I was saying with this Sivir Ghost, it's actually really good. Um, it's kind of a gamble going against the Vayne with the other Ghost, but I really do think Sivir with Ghost is really really good right now.
Indigo full confidence mode. The Cull start on Sivir into the Vayne lane. Really not worried about the Vayne Taric early on. Are you feeling that confidence for Indigo right now?
After having a great game too, yes. However, I am one of the very few AD carries out there who hates the Cull item. I never buy it no matter what. I think it's the worst item in the video game. But if he's that confident, I'm with it. I mean, you're on a champion that wants to push the lane anyways into the Vayne, so it makes sense. But I was hoping for a little bit more of an aggressive start, maybe a long sword.
This is the you can't punish me for this. I'm gonna hit 3 items before you item. So
Yep.
we'll see if he gets away with it. I also wanted to shout out the synergy between Hot Damn and Indigo. They both have the solar eclipse skins, and you'll get the flash out of flyer in mid lane off the EQ from Kyle Good. And he lost nothing for that. He just is gonna continuous pathward on into the jungle. Basically didn't take any time. No reason
Yeah,
not to, I guess. That's a free flash.
yeah, Flyer definitely getting some good trade out to exclamation, but unfortunately, having to blow the flash does create an opportunity for
Ooh, Sleepyhead has
Kyle to come
worked his
back.
way now into the Raptor pit. And I think exclamation spotted him either on that ward in the side or just has the inkling
Oh no,
in the
he
back of his
didn't.
head.
He went
He
in.
got the jump in, but yeah, that's all that's happening. Meanwhile, Giga and Yuna doing the top lane thing, and the bot lane thing also happening.
Looks like Kyle is gonna get a chance to meet Sleepy at his red buff, or does Sleepy not realize that Jarvan
Yeah,
is in
this
his
is a
jungle?
weird situation. They're all separated from each other, and right now you have to be worried if you're Kyle because you haven't seen Zac walk in. So it's got to be mid lane, and that's an instant flash from exclamation. He gets pulled back in by the stretching strike. The slow, the extra Q, they have the damage for first blood on the flash W from Sleepyhead. So the aggression eventually pays off for the Zac. They do have to burn the Zac flash, but you're not disappointed with that to get a kill. And now Kyle has the red buff and is going to meet the Zac and get him into the Bloblets, which he chunks through pretty well with that martial cadence passive. Bump, bump, and a kill for Kyle.
Yeah, what a trade-off, I guess. Getting a return kill back on the Zac makes it somewhat worth it, but in the end, Flyer and Sleepy worked on one individual kill instead of Kyle Good getting on a single individual kill. They're still up on gold, but I don't know. Flash being burnt on exclamation and TP being used. Flyer hasn't backed yet. He's still low on mana, trying to defend the wave. They're in a good. Rodham is in a decent spot, even though they gave up first blood.
I mean, it's hard not to argue. They're up 300 gold overall despite giving up first blood, which um, is a testament to them just shoving waves very fast so far, and also Kyle being somehow 2 camps and a kill ahead of Sleepy. I guess he's even with. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. The brain already starts to melt at game 3, and by game 5, it's just a pool of goop sitting in there. Um,
Well, Yuna getting a good ward onto his top side, expecting the Zac to gank. Ozzy's going to be pushing into the lane. Um, I don't really see any real good outcome for this top lane matchup unless one of their jungler comes over. But at that point, do you kind of just not gank the full tank Yuna and the full tank Giga? Like, how does
so
that work?
honestly, both of those champions do quite a bit of damage to each other because they both have percent health on an ability. It's just a matter of who can stack it up faster, and that's Orin usually, because you can hit back-to-back claps. But it's not the biggest investment. The only advantage that you have is if you do bring Kyle up there, because they're both melee, they stack up that passive really fast onto Giga. So if you ever catch him overextended, you can slowly chase down Orin across the lane. Thank you for demonstrating both max percent health passives there. It's just kind of a silly matchup. I think it should, in a theoretical sense, slightly favor Ornn, but I don't think it really matters that much. It's a skill matchup, as skilled as a tank matchup gets.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they're gonna get much action up there other than just slapping each other. But
Do you ever
I'm
get
definitely.
jealous of top laners not having consequences for their actions?
Oh my goodness.
Exclamation's gonna get charmed in. He's dead. Flyer's able to take him down, and now it's a spot that Exclamation hasn't been in the first 2 games. Meanwhile, Yuna looking for the solo kill. The Ignite isn't quite enough damage. If he just committed for one more auto, he actually picks that one up. Now they're going to hit the snare onto Paragon. A little bit of split focus between Indigo and Hot Damn, but they're getting the better of the trades in the bottom lane, and Hot Damn continuing with that Piercing Darkness. And now both junglers are here as Kyle and Sleepyhead start to fight. The flagged down. In comes the boomerang blade on Paragon. Stunned, spell shielded by Indigo. They'll jump in. They're looking to turn on to Hot Damn, and they'll pick up that kill immediately. And they have to get out now because Seraphine's collapsing from the other side. They're looking to turn on to Kyle Good, pin him into the wall
What a
with...
flash.
That was really nicely done, but Kyle is able to flash away. And it's another pick for OMT. Everything going a lot better than what we saw in game number 2 thus far.
Yeah, definitely pretty costly for Exclamation to die mid. Like I said, this is exactly what Zach wants. He wants the Seraphine mid to be able to dive in and then extend the charm out to possibly catch the Victor if she misses on the initial engage. But her Seraphine being able to roam down and help this bot lane out just in case they needed it. They actually end up burning out the Jarvan flash. Now there's no way he's gonna be able to contest this dragon. Really good pickups for OTM right now.
Yeah, it's they're not already down like 1,500 gold, so it's significantly better than last game. And Giga's even going to pick up a spare little tower plate, which brings the gold count about even. Kyle and Hot Damn able to do about that Rift Herald, so not without a counter strike from Return of the Middlesticks. And honestly, both sides won't be super disappointed with the state that they're in. They're both looking to scale. It's just that ROTM should significantly outscale unless Paragon really gets going. So far, 1-0, down a couple of CS. Like, he's feeling okay, but really need to see that Vayne accelerated in this game.
Yeah, most definitely. They almost actually cashed in on that Jarvan kill. Flash condemning him into the wall was pretty good, but nonetheless, was able to get away. It's nice to see at least one kill on him, but he is down on some CS. And he's going really aggressive right now.
Yeah,
That's a lot of damage being traded off.
Yeah, Indigo just kind of standing his ground, goes ahead and layers in a bunch of those boomerangs. That little, I don't know what you call it, stealth field almost. It's really bright in that skin. Yeah. In comes Paragon, final hour popped. Hot Damn. Oh, didn't quite hit the Silver Bolt's passive. That would have been a huge chunk of damage onto Hot Damn, but instead just the 2 means that he's down about half health and he'll be able to heal up with that Dawning Shot, or the piercing darkness. And now Kyle
Good coming in.
Yeah, looking for it. Has the Jarvan Jacuzzi available if he can just find a home for it. And instead gets stunned up. In comes the Cosmic
Sleepy.
Radiance as well. He'll get pinned into the wall. Kyle Good now jumps in onto Paragon. Looking for it. The Piercing Shadow does finally finish off a kill. Kyle Good taken low. Sleepyhead gets the heal, gets the little shield from Tarek. Netflix and Zill just standing his ground. A lot of autos coming on through. Hot Damn and Indigo eventually finish that one off. And Zach eventually falls into Bloblets. Hot Damn just hanging on with 1,500 health and eventually gets the shutdown on the Zach.
They actually were almost able to turn that. That Tarek almost lasted just as long enough to continue to heal back up. I can't believe that they misplayed it just slightly to the point where I believe the Vayne didn't get caught into the Tarek ult. Obviously Vayne went down, but still not that bad of a fight for Rodham. I take that any day. Both your AD carry and support lived. They survived and picked up some kills. I don't really necessarily like the Zac getting put behind, however. That's kind of feels bad. But they stalled the fight as long as possible and actually almost ended up killing Hot Damn Jam at the well in the process.
Yeah, Hot Damn does pick up his Umbral Glaive, which is... It's not like a huge damage power spike for ROTM, but the vision control that item gives is kind of insane right now. And the fact that you pick it up for like 2,000 gold is... it's a thing. I don't know why that item hasn't been nerfed at this point, but... so it goes. Watch this. Boom. Umbral Glaive. I killed a ward.
Congratulations. No, but it looks like
Did
they
they
do want to
spot
repeat the
Sleepyhead?
same gank, though. I think they did not.
There were retreat pings like directly on top of him. They have to be very careful. Indigo has a spell shield, and Kyle gets here for the counter gank. We're about to return to another 3v3. Oh, Yuna has teleport. Could really make this interesting, and now he's back in base. So does Giga, but it's a longer way in. They'll throw it onto Paragon first. The initiation from Kyle Good, not wanting to wait around. It's Hot Damn that's low first. Paragon just trying to kite back away. Exclamation's walked his way down. In comes the Boomerang Blades. Paragon low, eventually taken down by the flag of Kyle Good. He'll get the EQ back off. Sleepyhead taken low. The trade just isn't quite
Flyer's
there.
almost there.
In Exclamation finishes off another kill. It's 1 for 2. And Yuna teleported back to top lane during all of that, so he's getting extra farm. The flash forward, though, they get the big knockup. They'll pull back in Indigo. They've taken down Hot Damn. Indigo trying to escape, but Giga's there for the auto attack. And the re-engage from OMT gets them an extra 2 kills.
I was just about to say it was a clutch team fight. Great ult from Kyle Good onto the Vayne, forcing the Vayne's ult out, but also burning his own flash, unable to escape to save his own life. But nonetheless, they still managed to win the fight, but it was only until that second re-engage where they messed up. That swings over a lot of gold back over onto Sleepyhead side, and it gives Flyer some extra gold as well. He's down a couple CS, but still, would have been a great fight for Rodham, but that re-engage really set the balance back and even for them.
Yuna's trying really hard to get this top lane tower, but it's not working out for him. And now Kyle Good has the Zac jumping out. This is something I thought was going to be a threat from the open, is how do you deal with the Zac as this team from ROTM? That's maybe a puzzle that they have yet to solve, as OMT look to start up their second dragon of the game, potentially. Everyone buzzing around this pit. It's a 4v4. Yuna is not here to join, but Paragon's getting close. And that's not what you want to see if you're Return of the Middlesticks, unless you can blow them up over the wall, which I don't think you can. Kyle might go for the hero steal. That's about all that you've got left in the playbook if you're Return of the Middlesticks, and it doesn't look like they're going to pull the trigger.
Yeah, Dragon going to be secured for OTM. Not that bad of a trade-off. They do lose top turn, and it looks like they want to pressure this mid tower, but they're going to be back just in time. I think the best way to deal with the Zac, let him engage. We're just going to send Jarvan onto the Vayne. Their only damage dealer.
I think that works eventually, but right now, I just feel like the Zac and the Seraphine are a little too much damage threat to completely ignore. But we'll see how it goes. So far, 7-6 in favor of OMT is the kill count and the dragon count 2-0, but you have a 4,000 gold lead for Return of the Middlesticks, mostly thanks to right-clicking minions better and that top lane tower that was secured by Yuna. Plus Umbral Glaive, by the way. Both supports, usually relatively even in Vision score. It's 31-12. Umbral Glaive, by the way. Buy that.
Oh my goodness.
Charm gonna land. They're gonna be able to pick off Exclamation. Sleepyhead picks up that kill, and a little bit of a threat. Anytime that there's a soft pocket of vision, hard to walk up for Return of the Middlesticks, and now Sleepyhead walks in right as Kyle Good is able to finish off the Rift Herald. They'll pick up the Eye, and he's buying time for the rest of his squad to get in range. They have Cosmic Radiance available if they need to from the Taric. They'll get the stun down immediately onto Sleepyhead, and that's enough to disengage the fight.
Yeah, tough.
Well, enough for right then,
Exclamation.
because Kyle Good walks immediately back into the squad.
Rodham's gonna have to understand anytime Seraphine's in the lane or anywhere in the jungle, expect the Zac to be nearby. It's been working for them, and they're gonna continue to go over and over again. Paragon loses, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
Paragon
does.
really has nowhere left to go. The Ignite will eventually burn him down, and Yuna, with the help of Hot Dam's ult, picks that one up. And now
Yeah, that was
Kyle
tough.
might have found Netflix and Zill a little bit lacking as well. Does he have the range on the EQ? It looks like the Turk is slightly faster than he is for some reason, so he'll be able to escape.
Yeah, that was pretty questionable sending the Vayne up against the Sejuani over with Ignite. I'm not sure. I mean, he did get the center ult to assist him, but still, like, that's really risky.
I think this is hard to find a successful side lane for Vayne at all. right? With Exclamation ramping up, he's got the Leandri's Torment. He'll soon be a big enough threat to just 100 to 0 Vayne if you can catch out a vision. The Sejuani I don't think ever really loses to Vayne unless, you completely outplay her, which I guess is always a factor when the Vayne champion exists, but
No, if I'm Paragon and I'm understanding, all right, I'm the main damage source. This is all on me. The comp is centered around my playstyle. I have to match up with Victor in a side lane. Got like if he's gonna be able to trade off with Victor, like the only way he would win the trade offs, you have to obviously dodge his laser. But the main thing I would say is find a way to make him waste his Q first onto the minion wave, and then you can go ahead and secure a nice decent trade off. Um, it's not really smart to send him against the Sejuani. We've already seen why. Victor is ramping up, but he's not there yet. As the Sejuani, Sejuani's already there. She's 2 items in. She's at where she wants to be already. So if they're gonna send Paragon to get some solo XP or some solo farm on a side lane, I would definitely throw him against Exclamation at this point. Ghost's gone and so is Flash, so it wouldn't be the smartest thing, but it's kind of same thing as game 2. A slow bleeding that's slowly turning to a heavy bleed, and I don't think that they're gonna be able to. Oh, is
two
Kyle gonna?
junglers
Yeah, Kyle's
passing in
fine.
the night here.
Yep.
Sleepyhead was aware that Kyle was there. Kyle didn't know that Sleepyhead was there, and instead it just turns into nothing. Another nothing burger. Rift Herald going to be summoned near mid lane. Should pop open this mid lane tower, but Sleepyhead looking for the
Oh,
engage. Sheila will
that's
get the
close.
charge off. That was a really good flash, actually. Actually, it wasn't a flash
Oh,
at all.
Sleepy gets knocked back into the
Sleepy
rift.
gets caught just a little bit, but he's got the passive if they can buy just a little bit of time and space for him to res, but they will not. And Indigo takes him down. Giga looking for the engage with the Ram Jam, but it's not quite there, and Paragon left just to auto attack around the side, and RTM finds a kill. They find another tower in the mid lane, and they'll continue poking away just a little bit. That's a bit risky, but 1 second to go on the dragon, and they should have the inside track to secure their first dragon of the game.
Big unfortunate knockback that Sleepy got from the Rift Herald, pushing him closer to Sejuani and away from his team.
Ooh, Yuna in a little bit of
Yuna?
trouble looking for Paragon. Has the Ignite. They'll throw him into the Jarvan Jacuzzi. There's nowhere for Vayne to go, but the Cosmic Radiance comes down. In comes the Dawn
Fire's
Shadow
here.
just to save. Yuna able to dash out, but in comes everyone else. Exclamation from the side. Has the big laser, the Chaos. The Chaos Storm tears through next. I am gonna stop saying words. That was a lot of bad words right in a second. Exclamation in a little bit of trouble though. The jump forward from Sleepyhead. Re-teleport back in from Yuna. He went back to base and healed all the way back up. And now they'll be able to kill Zac a second time in as many minutes. And with that, it's almost 20 minutes into the game. The Baron timer's ticking. ROTM might have an option to do that one. It looks like they're gonna favor the dragon though.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate that they're not being.
Oh,
never mind.
Paragon is dead. Yuna looking for a little bit more. Flyer has a big charm, but it's just not quite enough. And Giga teleports in on the Ornn. Really good body block so far, but
We'll
he's
trade
able to
one.
just pass through Yuna eventually. He'll get the trade kill. The blast cone for Yuna gets him out. No one saw that emote. We're all good.
Yeah, I was just about to say it's unfortunate that Paragon wasn't able to get any of the
Giga,
kills during
Netflix,
that
and Zill
fight.
still looking for Yuna. They'll get the knock up. They'll get the stun. Eventually, Giga gets this kill, you imagine. Maybe not. Who knows? This is interactive tank gameplay in 2022. Poster ability patch, the stun. There's the damage. Velo's breath. One auto. One auto. Blast cone. Arctic assault. Okay.
There we go.
Well, Tarek got
I
a
hope the
600
fighting
gold
is finished.
shutdown. He's the carry now. That's him.
As I've been trying to say for like the past minute and a half, it definitely does suck that Paragon wasn't able to get any of those kills in the longest team fight that they've had the last minute and a half. But it's really being difficult. It's really going to be difficult for OTM to kind of funnel anything onto Paragon right now. I think they should just continue doing what they did best in the early game. Play around the Seraphine and Zac. You get something off with Seraphine's ult, pop the Ornn ult. Like, it's gonna be really hard for Vayne just to walk up with Tarek, which by the way has been doing a great job stalling the fight as long as he can. It's going to be really hard for Paragon to kind of approach these fights. I don't know if you noticed in that first fight they had in the mid lane, Indigo was just shredding Paragon. That Kraken Slayer was doing massive damage. He's finished his Phantom Dancer. He's only going to be doing more. It's going to be really tough for Paragon right now to kind of approach these fights unless Zac and Seraphine open it up for him.
I also am not one to question Masters players all the time, but I wonder about the wisdom of going Rage Blade first. Would you not prefer like a Wit's End for a little bit of safety as the second item? Yuna's fine, by the way.
I would just because of the fact that this Victor went Leandry's second item with Voice Staff. I know the first game exclamation went Ludens into Shadow Flame. I would want the Wit's End, but at some point it really should just be Sejuani and Jarvan in front of Vayne, but at this point it's Sivir and Victor. I'm seeing Sleepyhead being able to go in onto their backline a couple times, but for Vayne to build Wit's End against Victor, I don't think it will necessarily be beneficial for him just because Sivir is finding her way into the side of these fights targeting
they're just
Paragon.
starting this. Teleport to the top lane from exclamation. Yuna can teleport as well, but he's staying on the bottom lane tower for just a second. 9,000 health left on this Baron. Giga is just upgrading the relic. Why do you upgrade Tarek's item?
Yuna has an TP. Oh, you see TP
Yuna's
now.
teleporting into the pit. 3,000 health on the Baron. Here comes the fight maybe to decide the series. Giga with the knockup just to try to delay Yuna. He'll bail out of the back of the pit. Baron has released. It's healing up just a little bit. Now back to about 4,000. In goes Kyle Good with the double jacuzzi. A lot of low health bars, but a big Tarek ult trying to turn this one. Let's bounce! It's a double kill for Flyer, and Yuna will eventually fall. They might have found the fight. Indigo stuck underneath the bottom lane or the mid lane tower. Paragon takes him down, and now OMT may get the Baron.
That was a clutch Tarek ult. That was so good. It stalled out all the damage that exclamation threw down. That Kyle Good tried to center around the engage. He got a great. First of all, he got a great two-man ult onto both Flyer and Giga Giga, but unfortunately, they re-engaged after the Tarek ult, and it opened up a lot of damage for them. Obviously, Paragon chasing down Sivir and being able to kill him. Wow, that tips the balance a lot. They get closer back on the gold lead. Dragon spawning up, but it looks like Rodham's gonna get there first, maybe.
Yeah,
but,
now this fight won't have Cosmic Radiance available if ROTM can pick it. They'll have everything up approximately around the time that they get there. Kyle Good's ult will be up. Indigo's ult will be up. Those are the only two that they'll be missing. If they can gather the boys, they can have this little window where there's no Tarek ult available. And that might be exactly what they need, because that was the only part that the only box that wasn't checked was dodging the Tarek ult. Instead, exclamation's going to manicure that top wave, and it looks like they're handing over the dragon to OMT and letting them have their third dragon.
Yeah, big underrated pick right now, this Tarek. It's been really hard for Rodham to kind of deal with
lands
him.
onto Indigo underneath the tower. In comes the Hammerblade. Bouncy time for the knockup. Flyer with enough damage, and yeah, Flyer on a killing spree. He's quietly doing 1 billion damage on the Seraphine. Now with his Leandri's Lament, they'll push it on in mid, and ROTM doesn't have any wave clear without Indigo, and without exclamation. So they'll lose 2 towers. Exclamation is just farming jungle camps right now, which isn't... I don't think that really helps them in the grand scheme of things. Now he's walking back toward base, but Sleepyhead looks for the engage. He'll get hit by the Senna W, but they've lost the mid lane tower. They'll lose the mid lane inhibitor, and OMT has bursted the game wide open. It's going to be, I mean, basically level. That's an 800 gold lead now for ROTM, but that doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah, OTM looks like they found their footing. They're understanding finally now that they have to make plays around this Seraphine. Regardless if it's outputting enough damage or not, it's still a big factor in these fights. Obviously, when they fought here in their enemy blue jungle, that big game deciding, I want to say game deciding fight, Seraphine had caught the Victor, Jarvan, and Sejuani in her ult. It's really nice to see that they're understanding Seraphine has to be the big factor in these team fights, but Rodham is kind of falling apart right now.
Yeah, they need to find that foothold back into the game. It looks like they're setting up with Yuna and Kyle on the bottom side, but Indigo and Exclamation might get picked. Sleepyhead forces 2 flashes out of the carries. Paragon looking for a little bit more. That OP Vayne passive gives him move speed toward enemies, but won't be able to find anything else after popping Final Hour.
Yeah, Flash have to be blown for exclamation, but I don't think
Look
that's
at
gonna be
bottom
too
lane
bad.
right now. Yuna and Kyle Good have chosen PvE. They'll take down the inhibitor tower in bottom lane, and they'll get out. They'll trade it for the inner tower in top lane. It looks like. Hot damn!
Oh, hot damn jam.
That blast
Oh,
cone was a little
that's
sus.
unfortunate. I don't think he meant to click that.
There's no way that he meant to click that. Yeah, that's a little unfortunate.
But nonetheless, still, Flyer's still alive, being able to clear this wave like crazy and like nothing. Look at that. Oh, go on. Look at that.
Yep, and
Zach is
now
gonna go
that
in.
means that they can threaten the dive with the Taric stun. Able to dodge it out, but they'll pull him back in with the stretching strikes.
Oh, it
Cosmic
didn't.
Radiance being popped. Yuna still looking for Paragon. He importantly didn't get the Cosmic Radiance, but there's just not enough damage to go down onto the Vayne. Indigo and Exclamation trying to hold on, but Sleepyhead, he gets pinned into the wall. Paragon taking up the tower, he
He goes
eventually falls.
down.
That might be enough. The Dawning Shadow comes back through for the stun. It's a double kill now for Indigo. They're eventually tearing through this one. Netflix until finishes off Exclamation. Hot Damn and Indigo trying to fight their way forward. The bottom lane for ROTM maybe finding their worth in this game. More autos, more boomerangs from Indigo, and he'll find a triple kill and a bunch of shutdowns into his pocket.
I was just about to say that Cosmic Radius not touching the vein. She almost went down on that C5 and managed to survive with the shield bow being popped. That was a very long extended fight than what Rodham wanted it to be. But nonetheless, still they managed to come out on top. They defended the base. They did lose a Nexus turn though. That's unfortunate. But still, decent fight for Rodham. Um, it's very unfortunate that for OTM that the Seraphine kind of didn't get a chance to extend. You had Victor lined up, you had Jarvan lined up right in front of the Zac, but it just missed. Um, OTM kind of a sloppy fight, but they didn't lose that much off of it.
Yeah, so a minute and a half to go on this dragon. You cannot give Infernal Soul over. So ROTM going to have to fight. They're going to have to find a way to set this up with their middle inhibitor down. And Yuna has teleport. He's on the top side right now. Kyle is separated against Ornn, which I don't think he wins this 1v1 in any reasonable realm of the human mind. And especially now with Flyer here, gets the root down, but it looks like he'll be fine because the directed camera is going to just pull away from him. They'll get the tower. They'll get about half health off of Kyle Good. Exclamation secures his own blue buff, but Paragon has to dodge away from the gravity well. In comes Yuna for the teleport, but they're able to take down Exclamation. Indigo trying to fight from the back. Kyle Good flashes away from his own jacuzzi. Lot of AoE damage from Indigo. The Sivir is pretty untouched in the backside. They take down Ornn. The Sejuani ult not quite able to connect. Flyer, good flash away from Sejuani. In comes the Boomerang Blade. It's a double kill for Indigo, and now they can maybe continue pushing on. Zac has to escape, but Netflix and Zill and Paragon don't have a huge amount left. They'll get the slowdown onto the Taric and finish him off, and now Yuna dashing on forward with Kyle Good in pursuit. Stretching Strike gets the slowdown onto Yuna. I don't think that they'll be able to find any more, but Yuna's going to do his damnedest to try. Paragon pretty low. Otto's coming through. He's still got his Ignite. In comes the Shield Bow. Dawning Shadow used. It's a trade. And now Kyle Good. Oh, the pin! That was so good from Paragon. But eventually enough damage comes through from Hot Damn Jam. And they'll find the ace, and they'll get their second dragon of the game.
Oh, it was going so good for OTM. The Seraphine caught a 3-man ult, but then I don't know if Netflix was pocketing his Cosmic Radiance or something, but it came out way too late, and Indigo managed to pick off Flyer and really did a lot of damage that fight. There were so many bounces coming out from his ricochet there. Man, OTM, they had that in the bag, and then Rodham just came back, Indigo popping his ult, and then everyone just was able to re-engage. Once Flyer went down, everything else after that just slowly went away and faded to Rodham's favor.
Yeah, now they're sprinting to Baron to try to fight again. No rest for the wicked today. We're continuing to yell at our computers into hour number 3. Whew. Here we go.
Indigo now finishes his 4th item, by the way.
Yeah, he's a little bit of a monster right now that he's finished his Lord Doms and his Infinity Edge.
Is Netflix gonna get caught out here?
Oh,
No, he's
Paragon
not.
has a stopwatch. That actually might be huge to watch during this next fight. Um,
It could be. I just hope he doesn't use it as his ult is ticking down in the timer, or else then he'll come out with no ability to be able to re-invis once he queues in again. But I hope he uses his stopwatch for good and not for a misplay.
well, he doesn't use the stopwatch. He buys a Guardian Angel instead.
Oh, okay. Well, that's just as good, honestly.
I'd like to call your attention to the name. Oh, he hasn't upgraded it yet. Never mind. We'll get there. The upgraded Immortal Shield Bow name is just really stupid, and I point it out every time. But we're not quite there. Apparently. Giga's not going to give it to him. He's right there. Give him the upgrade. All right, well.
Is Sleevey gonna get caught out here? Nope.
A little bit of damage through onto the Zac. He's got his Demonic Embrace, so he's actually doing a little chunk of damage. Even bought a Dark Seal just for fun. As you do. Sometimes we do a little Zac damage.
This is the unfortunate part. Even though Vayne also has her 4th item, you kind of have to send Vayne to go ahead and clear out the mid wave that's being pushed in by the Sivir, because you want the Seraphine to be on the jungle with Zac. If he finds a good engage, Vayne having to push the Vayne alone versus the Sivir definitely does suck for Vayne. But
Baron started by OMT.
yeah, they wanted Baron.
Exclamation has the ability to teleport, but he's going back to base right now. Now has to teleport in. It's a little bit late. About 5,000 health. They get the root onto Kyle Good. They get the smite down. So Baron goes to OMT. What's the fight going to do? Kyle Good, very low. In comes the Zac with the knockback. He gets the slap in. Let's bounce all over. Indigo just trying to kite back, but he cannot. It's a double kill for Paragon. And Exclamation able to find the gravity well. Kyle Good and Yuna fighting with Giga, but that's not where you want to be right now if you're Return to the Middlesticks. They'll eventually finish off Kyle Good. Eventually they're going to stall out Yuna while the rest of the team marches it in mid. Yuna has to try to get back to base. He's teleporting in, but he gets interrupted by Sleepyhead, and that might seal their fate in this game. Exclamation has to try to defend the mid wave. Yuna just having a little bit of fun with Zac. It's going to go Sleepyhead's way, it looks like, eventually, as he picks up the Bloblets, and he'll eventually knock that one down. Exclamation trying to defend, but the base is already down. There's nothing left in the tank, and OMT has struck back. And will send us to game 4.
Big comeback win for OTM. Definitely had to pull it out of the bag. Was not an easy win. Even though they won, it was only a 1k gold difference, and it was a very, very close game. I'm surprised they managed to pull it off, but doesn't mean they're out of the woods yet.
Yeah, so Return of the Middlesticks still looking for that important, well, very important 3rd win to advance them into the next round. OMT on the board now, and they'll send us to game 4. We'll be right back with that.
Get your popcorn, boys.
I love amateur League of Legends. Sometimes you just get to read the sentence, Nurse Violet is in for Stonky Kong. And that's just a sentence that happens.
Nurse Violet is in for Stonky Kong. It just sounds really funny to hear.
Yeah. our team is going to pick blue side for game number 4. I really want somebody to jump out of spectate so that I can go pee, but they will not, so here we are.
So we'll have to wait.
Pretty unfortunate.
You beat me to it. I was gonna go use the bathroom. Out of 5 ADC, I agree, 100%. All right, they are starting draft for those that are watching. Unfortunately, there is a bathroom break for one of the casters, but nonetheless, Rodham banning out Rumble, and then OTM is banning out Gragas again. Respectable bans. Rumble has been banned out all 4 games so far. It's just I'm actually quite interested to see if they'll ever let it go. And the Tarek being banned away from OTM, and Yasuo being banned away from Rodham.
Oh, I trolled. Missed the start of draft. Here we go.
Don't worry, I was doing a play-by-play for them.
Well, there it is on stream officially. You can see probably what Atlas was telling you.
Yep.
Seraphine is
I was just talking about Tarek being Rumble and Tarek being banned out. I'm really surprised to see Rumble banned out all 4 games. Is OTM just smirks on Rumble?
I don't know. I would assume so. The same as the Yasuo. We don't want to see that in the hands of Yuna or Exclamation. So instead, it's a return to Trundle for Kyle Good. And OMT looks like they might want the Jarvan this game, and they'll go ahead and pick that. Kind of interesting, this Jarvan priority pops up in game number 3, and then all of a sudden, now it's a high priority champion.
I think it's smart banning out both Seraphine and Tarek. Obviously, you don't want Tarek stalling out the fights as long as possible. You don't want Seraphine to cause a lot of problems for wave clear management and just the potential picks that they can do with the Jarvan. Ezreal also being grabbed as well for OTM. I'm not agreeing with that, but we saw how well it did game 2 for Rodham. So I'm excited to see how Paragon does with it.
Yeah. Kind of interesting after seeing the all the eggs in the Paragon basket. Now he's going to play Ezreal in the next game. And Kaisa locked in off the board a little bit, but locked in for Indigo.
If this Kaisa gets rolling early, like Indigo has been lately, this is going to be a bad game for OTM.
The Kaisa Nautilus, the kind of El Clasico pairing together, and that's going to be locked in. So headed for an aggressive bottom lane duo now for Hot Damn and Indigo. Oof. Well, OMT now, what will they do with blue 3? You imagine this is support? Unless they've got something a little special in mind. It'll be Galio locked in. Could be support or mid, theoretically. Probably mid. I don't think I've seen it support recently. I think I lost Atlas, maybe?
I'm here.
Okay.
I'm just trying to make sense of the Galio pick. I mean, you wouldn't want Galio to go bot lane versus a Nautilus. You know, that's such a big target. That's an easy hook for Nautilus, you know, every day of the week. So do you pair it mid? But if you pair it mid, does that give the opportunity for Exclamation to go an AD mid laner this time? I'm not sure what the sense behind the Galio. I don't think it's that great of a choice support.
I mean, you have Galio Jarvan, which is a devastating combo. But yeah. Kai'Sa's one of the champions that can kind of circumvent that. Your dash radius, you know, probably isn't big enough to get outside of it, but you have the shield. You probably don't instant die to it either. And
you could
they're
definitely
banning other things that you can just put in those two circles, like the Veigar and the Victor, not, you know, the most mobile choices. It's kind of interesting.
I get that they want to ban out stuff that's kind of gonna zone them off. Obviously, Poppy's a great ban, Veigar's a great ban, Victor is a great ban. Definitely don't want to have Victor on Exclamation's hand. But I don't understand. Like, you have, okay, so you're committing to a lot of these fights, but then you have an Ezreal.
Well, the Ezreal Orianna looked pretty good for Return of the Middlesticks in game 2. Why not? Why don't we try that one? So that'll be the Ezreal Galio bottom.
I think this is most definitely a winning matchup for bot lane on Rodham's side. You have a lot of like easy trades you can do with Kaisa versus the Galio. Ezreal does hurt early on, but it's Nautilus. Like, you're guaranteed to kill.
Well, Xerath is locked in for Chad. I can't think of Exclamation. I don't know why I'm blanking on that. That's a good matchup. Into Orianna, though, you outrange her and can poke her out early if she's not careful with the use of her mana. What rounds this out? What are you looking for from Yuna? Back on the Darius. The blind pick Darius, with the only bans being Rumble and Gangplank. What a Chad. What an
Like, I guess
absolute.
Dragons too, but he won that matchup, so I want to see why they would.
Well, that's against him.
Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't ban that one. This is interesting. What does OMT have left? You'd think you'd want kind of a bruisery pick. Giga's going back on the Heimerdinger. Alright. Fair enough. That's not a fun lane for Darius.
Yeah. It's not that bad, actually. The Heimer against Darius obviously not going to have a good time. But the main point is, once Heimer does get set up around these Dragon or Baron fights, and Kai'Sa has to kind of choose her targets very wisely, it kind of makes sense. Picking Heimer, you kind of have to be careful of where you're ulting in because of Orianna, Galio taunt, and now the Heimer is zoning you away, but they have a Xerath. The Xerath is just gonna destroy all of Heimer's turns.
Make sure you jump down.
Oh, yeah, my apologies. I am not playing top lane. Bit of a questionable draft for OTM. It makes sense on what they want to do. They want to wombo a lot. The Heimerdinger, I think you could have gone some better options. I don't know, maybe. I don't know. I'm not a top lane guru, but I would love to see maybe a Malphite if you're gonna pick Orianna. I know it's not the best of matchups from.
So I feel like you already have your
still.
You already have your ball delivery with your Jarvan and Galio. I don't think you really need more of that, and I don't know that more tankiness really helps you out. I'd love to see like a bruiser or an assassin, but those not like an assassin, but like, you know, one of those top lane characters that just generically does quite a bit of damage. Like an Aatrox would be really good here, I feel like, or like an Olaf. Something like that, I think, fits the comp a little bit better. The Vanguard that's been banned a couple of games, I don't know if that's top lane. It's probably jungle, but I'm hyped to see a Rengar. Something like that, I feel like fits the comp a little bit better. But, you know, Giga wants to pull out his pocket Heimerdinger in a playoff game. Let's see it again. Let's let it impress us, you know?
Yeah, I can't wait to see it, because it didn't have the greatest of game too, but then again, it was against the Sejuani. This time it's against someone who was less tankier, but I don't know, man. Heimer is kind of a gamble, especially if it's a must win right now.
Yeah, let's take a peek. We had that stream list. Let's take a peek at these other series that are happening right now while we have a second. See if any of them are still going. It looks like all of them went to 2-1. So, Deep Sea, Zenigma Solar, and OMT all struck back for a game win.
Nice.
Very funny.
All right. Game 3 out of the books. We're going to game 4. After game 3, talk to me. Exclamation did not have the greatest of games, so who's looking like your MVP at this point?
I mean, it's almost hard to argue against Paragon, especially if the full comeback happens, but yeah, I don't know. I think Hot Dam's also had a really good series, but
yeah, I think Hot Damn and Netflix and Zill are like my like tied for second for when it comes to. I still want to say it's exclamation because he just had one bad game versus the 3 that he's played.
Yeah.
But still, it's kind of just back and forth for me with Hot Damn Jam and Netflix. Netflix had a great Terra game. He had a decent Karma game, but then when Hot Damn Jam pulled out the Renata and mainly the Karma, his Karma was a great one. He played Karma really well. Um, that's kind of reason why I had them both tied at second. Indigo would probably be like my third. Aside from like his game one falling short on Draven, he still caught up with the Ezreal in game two. His Sivir this game three was not that bad. They just had a really bad fight and they could not answer the Zac and Seraphine combo. But going into this game four, with the comps that these guys have, it looks like OTM want to commit hard to these engages, but it also looks like Rodham has just enough damage everywhere else to respond to what they want to do.
Well, we got 2 minutes. The fatigue probably starting to set in for the boys. This the fourth consecutive game of League of Legends that they'll play, and the fourth one that we'll cast, of course. So
It's definitely squishier targets for Heimer this time.
yeah,
I know in game two it was a lot more tankier targets he had to deal with, but with it being Darius this time instead of a Sejuani, maybe it'll be a little bit more of a factor. I just don't see him being ahead.
yeah. Looks like chat's excited about the Heimer again. It's 0-1 in the series, though. Worth pointing out. I just think it's interesting. We haven't seen. Usually, there's that big like through line pick. You see it in every single game, just getting flipped between the teams. I don't think we've seen that. Like, aside from some of the bans staying the same, a lot of these champions have been flipping back and forth, and it's interesting that we just see different groups of champions coming through in different drafts and different situations. But yeah, it's been an exciting series so far. Game 1 and Game 3, definitely the highlight games. Game 2, a little bit of a stomp. Maybe Game 4 will be a little bit of a stomp. Maybe we trade them off, and then we'll get a hype Game 5. Or maybe we'll go to bed early. It's a win-win, really.
Yeah, Rodham's win con is right now is just Kai'Sa getting ahead as early as possible. Xerath is going to be huge later on at some point. But for OTM, gotta get Ezreal his items. Once Ezra gets his items, I think that's when there's going to be a point where not only Nautilus and Trundle can't keep up with him, but it's going to be a certain point where he's just going to have way too much protection with Orianna shield and Galio being in the front and Heimer zoning. I think this is gonna be a match where Indigo and Paragon are gonna have to really step up. This is gonna be for the marbles. Will we see it in Game 5? Will Indigo close it out? Let's see.
You set that up beautifully. We're loading in to game number 4. I didn't flip the scoreboard. Oh no. I have a black screen right now. Maris just wants to go to bed. Not wrong. I do really like sleeping, as it turns out. Oh, they've got the Heimer Stinger Orbiana combo. It's actually Doom.
Heimer Stinger, that's what it was. What did
Yeah.
we call it last time?
Beamerdinger, yeah.
Beamerdinger. I mean, to be honest, it should be Beamerdinger in my opinion, but Heimer Stinger is just good. Is it me or this pool party Jarvan almost looks like Set?
Yeah, I think it predates Set, if I remember correctly. So, it's the Set concept. We want this guy, but his own champion.
All right, while we wait for the game to load, I need a bottle of water.
All of you guys in the chat, stay hydrated. Drink some water, you dehydrated fucks. This is your reminder. Also sit up straight. Stop slouching. Don't look like a mantis shrimp. Myself, I am slouched over currently, but you don't have to take your own advice. This long of a load screen either means that something went horribly wrong or somebody disconnected during the load. So hopefully that gets resolved. But we made it in to game number 4. Maybe. I'm waiting. One of these times it's just going to crash here and I'll have no idea. All right, we did make it in. See, they went the skin synergy, but they didn't go the chroma synergy. How do you feel about? Do you feel like the color synergy is more important than the skins, or is just having the skinergy enough? He went to get a bottle of water. I'm talking to no one. We'll ask him when he gets back. The 5-stack going in for OMT toward the bottom side. No ward to sweep out this time. RTM may be a little wise to the tricks happening, and they're just not going to find anything for that sweeper and that little roam in. Instead, Giga's going to set up his turrets for Sleepyhead around the red buff. Hopefully Atlas is back soon. Because I don't think anyone wants to listen to the Maris solo cast game 4. Are we going for a late invade here? Hot Damn Kylegood and Indigo all grouped up. They have the double sweepers. They are going to go over, pop over into that blue buff area. They see no one there. That's a free Kylegood blue buff. Are we going... Okay, so Yuna's on top of a ward. So they have to understand that Kyle isn't on that top side. The level 2 gank into bottom lane. Paragon and Netflix and Zill. They'll get Netflix and Zill with the hook. Do they actually have the CC? He's got the flash away. They don't quite have the damage, but they get the both flashes out of Paragon and Netflix and Zill in exchange for essentially nothing. And now the jig is a little bit up. They'll know that Kylegood did the blue buff and then headed in, so Sleepyhead can go and take away all of these jungle camps. And we'll have to see how much that rebound really affects him if we lose some of these accessory camps or not. Or if it's just another bot lane force or something ridiculous from Kylegood. I don't think I want to see that pathing, but it could happen. But yeah, Sleepyhead taking care of the Gromp as well as the blue buff on the opposite side. And really no defense just yet. I like this word from Yuna. We'll be able to spot maybe Sleepyhead doing the Gromp. Oh, he's so low, actually. Yuna's just going to walk in and kill him. Oh, the apprehend isn't quite there. Yuna's only level 2. He's flash ghosted over to look for Sleepyhead, but the heal from the Gromp and the smite is enough to get the Jarvan out.
That is not worth a summoners, but that was very Chad of Sleepyhead.
You have already missed a banger, sir.
I did? Was it an invade banger?
Yeah, so Kyle did a delayed invade, stole the blue buff, and then level 2 ganked bottom. Got both flashes out of Paragon and Netflix and Zill. And then that led into the vertical jungling for Sleepyhead, who got caught by Yuna. And now we're kind of caught up, and Kylegood and Sleepyhead just going to run into each other at level 3 right there, with Flyer a little bit closer to help out. So our team has to be a little careful, but Kylegood's already taking care of that Rift Herald. Just walking directly into that Orianna ball, no fear. I had also asked, I was curious, so there's different chromas on Giga and Flyer. Do you feel like the Skinergy is more important, that they're both B skins? Or do you feel like you've got to have the chroma synergy, like they have to be the same color too?
I feel like you have to have the same color. If you're going to match skins, you might match them properly, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like Indigo and Hot Damn, those skins don't really go together, but they're the same color, right? So they're probably more matched, you would say, than Flyer and Giga?
Yeah. I'd say yeah.
Okay.
Sleepyhead's gonna go for a lane gank, though.
Yeah, Sleepyhead is down here. Exclamation and Flyer just trading in mid lane. And doesn't look like Sleepyhead's going to be able to find anything as the minion wave bounces back into tower. I don't know what Kyle's really looking
I think
for
he's
right
expecting
now.
I think he's expecting Sleepy to come into the mid lane gank because Exclamation's so out of mana and he's pushed up more than halfway out the halfway mark of the lane. But nonetheless, nothing happens.
He just wants the ward. Real troll king behavior right now happening by Kylegood. Um, so after all of the shenanigans, we haven't really tracked jungle camps, but they're even in jungle camps. The extra 2 CS I think Kyle picked up in mid lane, potentially. But yeah, Yuna's even in CS, which is actually very impressive, given that he's Darius against Heimerdinger.
Yeah, I was just about to say, he doesn't seem like he's having a fun time up there, but nonetheless, he's keeping up.
Oh, the hook!
Oh, what a hook!
Yeah, Paragon still has Arcane Shift available, but nice little hook from Hot Damn, just showing off his Nautilus skill.
Flexing real quick.
Also interesting is both ADs went Cull. So Indigo started with the Cull again, and then Paragon grabbed a Cull on his first back. We're into the Cull mind game portion of the best of 5.
I cannot tell you how tilted I am seeing both 80 carries with Cole.
I mean, realistically, it means that they expect that the game isn't going to be super bloody down in the bottom lane, so that they'll both get to farm up and get it relatively for free, which it's hard to see. Like, the Kaisa Nautilus can maybe get aggressive, but in terms of actually securing kills, it's going to be very difficult on the Ezreal. Maybe you kill Galio, but Shockwave used by
Ooh,
Flyer,
Shockwave.
pulling in exclamation. Justice Punch not quite going to connect. The Shock Orb does,
Oh.
and now the rest of the squad is here for ROTM. Kyle Good gets the chomp down. In comes the Red of the Arcane. 1 shot, 2 shots, 3 shots. The Ignite finishes off First Blood. Kyle flashes away. The auto follow
he
from
almost...
Flyer is just enough to take down Kyle Good in return.
Yeah, that almost went in Rodham's favor, but Flyer got the return kill. Flashing forward for the last auto attack. That was pretty clutch. That was a great hook, by the way, from Hot Damn Jam, making sure to hook the champion instead of the minion. I think Smitty doesn't know anything about.
Man, he might be here to defend himself. I don't know. Sleepyhead and Paragon going to go ahead and start up the dragon. Indigo's pushed in under tower, so they can't really respond, and especially without Kyle Good on the map, it's not a high probability. They'll take a little damage from that, the silly little Hextech Dragon auto. Exclamation has no mana and now no flash, so he's got to be a little bit careful as Paragon picks up this mid wave. Sleepyhead just doesn't care about how low he's getting. I guess he's fine.
I was kind of expecting a Kaisa, just a random Kaisa W just to kill him.
Trying to steal the dragon, just beans him and kills him.
Yeah.
It's happened before. Kyle's up on the top side just farming away. You can tell the game is not that exciting because we're focusing on junglers clearing camps. That's a bare minimum for the directed camera.
Yeah, I wonder. Well, Giga's not gonna get ganked anytime soon with 2 pink wards. Is that Sleepy's pink ward up there as well? Yeah, it has to be.
I mean, it's either that. I don't think we've seen Netflix go all the way up there, so yeah, I would imagine it's Sleepyhead's.
Well, he's well protected, and looks like they want to put some pressure onto his Rift Herald.
Our
Or
team's
go
had
onto his Flyer.
Yeah, Hook lands onto Flyer. Indigo looking for anything that he can find. A lot of damage coming down onto Netflix and Zill. Meanwhile, in top lane, Giga kiting away with the turret. Yuna just tracking him down with the flash, and the Noxian Guillotine is enough for the kill. It's such a sick ultimate name. It just sounds good. But in comes OMT, maybe looking for the return in mid. Indigo and Hot Damn have to be a little bit careful. The flash away from the
Nice
flag and
flash.
drag. That was a really nice flash, actually, from Indigo to not get knocked up. They'll lose a couple of tower plates, but not too much more than that. Meanwhile, Kyle and Unit can continue making their play up on the top side.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Giga running away from his already placed cannons into a bush that has no cannons. Most definitely will not be able to outtrade the Darius there. But nonetheless, still, Yuna gets the kill, and nothing happens mid.
And
Indigo survives.
Look at how Yuna has to itemize against this Heimerdinger. Go Merc Treads first into Hex Drinker in order to survive the matchup, which feels a little bit bad. And now we've got the Exclamation versus Giga lane that we've been really looking forward to.
Yeah, I can't wait for Giga to put down a turret and then Exclamation to wipe it out with 2 abilities.
Honestly, I don't think that this is a great matchup for Heimerdinger. I'm a little surprised that they're opting into it. Indigo, meanwhile, I don't think actually really wants to be mid, so that's a little surprising that we're kind of blindly opting into this chess game. It's 1,000 gold lead right now for ROTM. It's pretty much exclusively top lane on Yuna.
Yeah, do you send the Heimerdinger bot lane against Xerath who can match his pushing power? Or do you send Heimerdinger top lane who's gonna die you to Yuna? Um I just don't agree with the pick.
Yeah, I think we're both still kind of waiting for the Giga Heimer to show us something special. So far, it's been pretty whelming in 2 games. Um,
I think the word you're looking for is disappointing.
I didn't want to go that far because it's still novel. I think he went like 1-0-0 in game 1 or the game 2 that he played it in. Um, it's just it hasn't been special. Usually when you see someone pull out that pocket pick, it's like, oh, that's really
Yeah.
neat. You know, that's I can see why they wanted to play that. I can see the special reason that this is the pick, but I haven't seen that
Oh,
just
they're
yet.
going on
Flyer.
fire.
Uh, Apparently the flash is just enough to deter them. I think Hot Damn could have followed up with the hook and at least made that a thing, but instead they're opting for some turret plates, which, I mean, get those onto Indigo, sure. Why not? Oh, actually the tower is going to go down. I didn't think it was that low, but Indigo will pick that one up, and our TM extends their gold lead just a little bit more. And now a minute to go on the dragon. We'll see how Middlesticks wants to play this, if they're going to contest. They need exclamation for that, though, and he's getting ganked right now. Oh, another good shock orb. He's had those right at the max range, which I know Xerath's not like a super common pick, so the longer the range on the stun, the longer the duration of the stun.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, like, it, it's not a slow bleed, but OTM, they need to make something happen right now. Like, you can't just stall the game out this long. Kai'Sa's just gonna get her second item. She'll have her second power up ability. Xerath already hurts now. Wait till he gets his mythic. And Yuna already has a lead over the Heimer. You gotta make a play now while you
Giga's
can.
Giga's teleporting into that inner tower. Yuna's hanging around in the river just to kind of scout out Hex Flash over the wall to steal the Blast Plant. Nicely done. Always a funny play. Kyle is just standing right in their face as all 5 members of OMT show themselves right on that dragon. They don't have exclamation in the immediate area, and now Heimer's been able to set up some turrets. So this gets a little bit more difficult of a contest, but ROTM still potentially opting in for it. The Oriana ball is just hanging around that bush. Now over the top. In comes right of the Arcane along with the Nautilus ult just for a little bit of CC. Yuna has the flank back behind. They'll lose the dragon, but Indigo dashes in. He's caught in the Jarvan Jacuzzi, gets knocked up by the Galio ult, but it's going pretty well for ROTM. Yuna's got the resets. He's got the
Oh,
kills,
Yuna.
and now he's chasing down Sleepyhead. Needs the slow there. He'll get it, and he should. He doesn't even need to dunk. He doesn't have the dunk. Giga gets taken down. It's a triple kill for Yuna, a double kill for Indigo, the full house, the Bud Light ace. What more do you want from Return to the Middlesticks?
Yeah, unfortunate fight there for OTM. The Heimerdinger was able to get his turns down to try the zone, but unfortunately, they were not able to pull out the dragon. The dragon actually got aggroed onto the turns and stayed in the pit. So Ezreal had to move up forward a little bit, and unfortunately, with him moving up forward, they were not able to spot out Yuna being able to roam from the side that was unwarded. So definitely unfortunate mispositioning and unfortunate luck for OTM, who seemed like they should be winning the fight, but nonetheless, still they ended up falling short. Yuna had a great roam. Yuna had a great flank, and he went to 4-0 now.
Yeah. Still no completed Mythic because he pit stopped for a little bit of magic resist on the way, so still keep an eye. Indigo just a little over a wave away from cashing in his cull. Everything proceeding according to plan for Return of the Middlesticks here in game number 4.
Yeah, it's a feels bad moment when
the most fed person on Rodham's side can deprive from his build just to build for the lane. But
Yep,
nonetheless, Gallo's
and
getting caught out.
yeah, they caught Netflix and Zill, blow him up across the map with the Xerath ult. He'll pick another one up as well as Indigo gets the last hit. Hot Damn gets pulled back in with the shockwave, so the return kill does go to Paragon, but a 2-for-1 around mid for return of the Middlesticks.
It's smaller than the diagram.
Yeah, this is one of those unfortunate settings for Galio being in the map. You can run him down just as well as you did in game 1 and 2 with the Trundle. Unfortunately, he did still have flash. I'm not sure if he had it up just in time, but if he did have flash, you gotta burn it at moments like that because Trundle will run you down, especially when he gets slows from Xerath and CC followed up by Nautilus. You have to burn your summoners around Trundle.
Yeah, they'll pick up Sheila as their reward. Do lose mid lane towers, so overall a pretty neutral play, which always favors the team that's behind, so OMT will be pretty happy about that. And again, we have to worry a little bit about the dragon count, as it's 2-0 in favor of OMT once again. So you'll have to keep an eye on that dragon pit here in about 2 minutes. Xerath opening up, he's softening up. Flyer hit 2 of 3, it looks like, or 3 of 4. Just judging by the health bar chunk, but you don't get to see it because he didn't get a kill. I don't know why that's how directed camera works. If you kill them, it zooms in on the person who dies, but if you don't kill them, it zooms in on whoever's shooting the ult, which is really awkward. Especially when characters like Xerath exists, who just shoot their ult off screen, and Jhin. When you open up on Jhin, we never get to see who you're hitting. We just watch Jhin.
Which is, in my opinion, the best view of the game. Yeah, I think OTM starting to regret the decision of picking up the Heimerdinger. Definitely did not learn their lesson after game 2, but here we are. I mean, it is on Rodham's favor, and they have a sufficient gold lead against OTM. But the only way OTM can win this, or try to come back, they need to make these plays away from Darius. Get some picks onto the Xerath. Try to find a way to get on the Kaisa. Heimerdinger's gonna have to find a way to hold the lane against Darius or the Xerath, whoever roams down to him. But it's a slow bleed again, turning into a heavy bleed at this point. They most definitely do have the tools as well. You can set something up with Galio Oriana, or Oriana Jarvan with the Galio following up.
Yeah,
They have the tools.
We've seen the combo exactly once this game, which was unfortunately the team fight they lost, and now Paragon walks into Kyle Good, the subjugate taking him down, but now with Right of the Arcane over the top, doesn't look like he's going to pick up a kill, but it's enough to soften people up, and now the engage from ROTM. Yuna looking for Sleepyhead, they're trying to pull him back, it's a huge shockwave over the wall, but Indigo just dashes in, not quite able to find it, exclamation with the flash forward, does finish off Paragon. The only kill of the fight, surprisingly, as low as those health bars got. Indigo is very low, but he's got red buff to try to heal a little bit back up. Kauga just drops that Rift Herald toward the bottom lane. I think he was looking to ward and probably not drop it unless it was about to time out, which is a possibility. But the health bar is actually in favor of OMT. It means that they're going to start it back up. But look at where Yuna is. He's flanked behind. He's doesn't have any movement available, but it doesn't matter when you've got such a great flank position. Hot Damn can't quite get over the wall, but Yuna looking for Giga. The dragon goes over to Sleepyhead. They're trying to wail away on the Heimerdinger. Kyle and exclamation have just forced them back into this little choke point. Sleepyhead will eventually fall, and exclamations on the killing spree. Galio successfully got out with his ultimate, and now they're looking for Heimerdinger. They finally found him, pinged him out on the map thanks to that Xerath ult. And eventually, Indigo should find him. Oh no, no one hit him. Oh, very sad.
Yeah, unfortunate ending on that fight. Obviously, Indigo was very chunked out. I think he really did have to burn his ultimate in order for him to survive the ignite that was put onto him. But still, really risky call there for him to go in because that forces him to back, and unfortunately, OTM was able to just take the dragon since Flyer was never touched. I'm concerned for Paragon here though.
I am more concerned for Kyle, honestly, with two of them there. And now he's in the jacuzzi and has no flash, and he'll die.
All right, well that's another great pickup.
Yeah, and we're at 2020. Baron exists. I don't think it's doable right now, but it's a consideration apparently as OMT starts that one up. Our team has to know they have a lot of long-range abilities to throw into the pit. 8,000, 7,000 health. Now in comes the Xerath ults. This is when it starts to get a little bit hashtag dicey if you're OMT. Sleepyhead very low. One more auto. The Baron is secured by OMT. Can the fight actually happen? It doesn't look like our team is going to be able to find anything. And again, it feels like OMT is just hanging around in these games, and they find a couple of punches back. They're one dragon away from Infernal Soul, and now they have a Baron buff.
Yeah, big swing coming back for OTM, getting back into this game. Great fight around the Dragon Pit. A nice steal onto Baron. They're slowly clawing back, and the goalie is getting shorter and shorter. But at the same time, Rodham's carries are still just as effective as they were a couple minutes ago. Even if not, they're even more effective now with the items that they're obtaining. The Wits End, I'm a little concerned about. I'm not sure if I would have went Wits End. I would have been more aggressive with PD, but nonetheless, still, that's his choice. But OTM is starting to put these pieces together with their comp. They're actually starting to use it to properly together. They're finding these engages. They're getting these picks. They're getting these team fights swinging their way. But still, it's a long game. It's 21 minutes in. Still got a lot to face. They're going in on Yuna, though.
Yuna caught in the jacuzzi, now gets taunted up by Netflix and Zillow, burns the stopwatch. Rest of the squad inbound to try to help him out. The Xerath ult is apparently in mid lane. That's a long range on that ability, apparently. And in comes maybe the rest of the squad from ROTM looking for it. They'll get the slow from the dissonance onto Kyle Good, and it means that they can't really find an engage, but successfully defend Yuna and get him out of there.
Yeah, only Ghost and Flash, or Yuna's Ghost, yeah, both of the summoners being burnt. Not the greatest, but not the worst. Dragon is spawning in less than a minute, or just about a minute. I don't know. This is really weird to be in a position right now for Rodham. Like, the scoreboard says something, but then on the map it says completely different story.
Yeah, it's... I mean, honestly, we saw a very similar thing play out last game, where they were even or ahead in gold for most of the game, and it was only at the final Nexus explosion that OMT actually took the gold lead in that game. And it feels like ROTM are almost playing too tentatively, or they're not playing team fights exactly optimally, and that's been what's cost them. It's really hard to say. Luckily, I'm not their coach. I'm not trying to play in this game, because I don't have any idea. I'm just watching and yelling about it, so that's great. But 44 seconds to go on this dragon. Our team has to fight. They have to secure this dragon, because if there's something that they can't afford to give up, it's an Infernal Soul to this team.
I will say that Cannon Minion, Heimerdinger, has been a decent job holding the waves from Yuna and Exclamation, but he's a Cannon Minion.
Yeah, he can apply heal debuff now, so that's pretty neat. Kyle and Sleepyhead going to renew Pleasantries as junglers, and the Jarvan Jacuzzi
going
into the Galio ult. Have already
Nice
chunked through that
combo.
front line. Really nice combo. It's traded back by Indigo. Kyle just trying to kite back away from Paragon. Lives for quite a while. The Xerath ult doing a little bit of work, but now have to watch Yuna. He's the one full health person in this whole exchange. Indigo walking in has to be careful about those turrets. Yuna on
Yuna
the
with a
blast
flank.
plant. I believe they spotted him on that ward, and now they take away his blast plant, so makes him a little bit less threatening. Q lands from Exclamation. Netflix and Zill is chunking through the turret. Oh my god!
goodness.
Giga,
Flash from Indigo, though.
so low. Netflix and Zill gets the taunt on. Yuna just hurting him into the back of the pit. The dragon is
they're
going to be
so
their
low.
best friend in just a second. Exclamation finishes off one. Indigo finishes off two. The dragon's so low. In comes the True Shot Barrage. Not quite enough to find that kill. Indigo onto the dragon with Yuna. It
Oh, he almost
secured
did it. Oh, he
just
gets
barely by Yuna. And ROTM secures the dragon. It's the double kill. Indigo hits the Void Seeker. He'll finish that one
Oh
off. It's a
my.
triple kill for Indigo. And now Sleepyhead gonna walk in and get a free kill on exclamation. Or not, maybe. Hot damn. Gets the stun. The shock orb. Oh, just enough on the Dragon Lance, but now might be in trouble himself. Indigo able to get into range. Hits the Q plus the auto. The Ignite ticking him down. And Indigo Void Seeker
Oh, he gets
successfully
out.
hits, and they don't quite have enough damage. So I guess the Flag and Drag is enough to get him out, but now ROTM with a little bit of run of the map with Flyer down for another 10 seconds.
That was a great fight from Indigo and Exclamation, definitely laying down some damage. Bit risky if Indigo flashing forward though on front of the Galio. Nonetheless, they still come out on top. I was very surprised that they were able to come out on top of that without their front line, Trundle or Nautilus being on the map. Yuna obviously was causing mayhem in the back line, but nonetheless, still they managed to pull out on top while still successfully getting. Oh, actually, they did get Dragon. Yeah,
Yep.
while still successfully getting Dragon. Um, a nice momentum shift. It's increasing their lead, but nonetheless, it's still not that big of a lead. They're only down 5k gold. The scoreboard does say a different story, but nonetheless, not that bad of a fight from OTM. They re-picked up the Xerath after the Dragon. That's a nice shutdown goal for them, but it's they're healing their wounds little by little.
Baron about to spawn here in 14 seconds, going to be the next big issue to contend with for both of our squads. ROTM should have the stronger Baron fight, you would imagine, but we saw how it went last time. I guess it wasn't really a Baron fight. It was the fight before that where they picked off Kyle Good. But yeah, everyone filtering into the Baron area. Flyer going to be the last one there. He does have teleport to join. Baron exists on the map. Kyle still has his magic resist reduced, apparently. Or else the poison effect is just permanent. One of the two. Not really sure.
Yeah,
Oh no, that's actually a potion, isn't it?
I think so. Yes.
He's just
Yes,
in a
it is.
bush. Okay.
So Hot Damn and Kyle Good are gonna have to be very careful with how they're doing these engages. I still think they should prioritize.
Oh,
these
Indigo's
engages
in a
around...
lot of trouble.
Oh,
He's got no flash either, just trying to dash out, but that's a huge pick for OMT. Sleepyhead pulls the trigger, and now can ROTM find that Yuna pulls in, but he only finds Netflix and Zill. Teleport coming in on the other side from Giga. I don't know that that's exactly what they want. Are they leaving exclamation down on the bottom side of the map? That's a decision now for ROTM. Is this the steal attempt from Kyle Good? Is this a steal attempt from Hot Dan? Like, how much are they willing to risk for this Baron? It doesn't look like very much. They're just going to give over the second one and take their turret on the bottom side in exchange.
this is one of those like unfortunate 80 carry curses where you make one big mistake and it actually changes the tide of the game. With Indigo. Oh, a pause.
Nautilus has Hot Damn has to go to the bathroom apparently. All right, we're on a bathroom break, really quick, I guess.
Continuing what I was saying though, with Indigo making that big mistake that he made, unfortunately, it happens. We all make that one big mistake as 80 carries, but unfortunately, uh, it does shift a lot of momentum going forward for OTM. They got a big shutdown kill onto him. I understand trying to look for a pick for the Baron fight, but you're leaving Kai'Sa alone to farm, and you have to realize we got a ball delivery system on the enemy team, and a fight or a one shot is imminent there's uh whenever there's Jarvan or Galio missing on the map. You have to have them accounted for. If you don't see him prepping for Baron, or if you don't see him anywhere in the top side of the river, you just like how it was for game 3. If Seraphine and Zac were not on the map, they're most likely 100% gonna position to Zac engage and Seraphine ult you. I don't think that Indigo was ready for that. They didn't have vision on the side that they were on, but nonetheless, still made a pretty big mistake. It's gonna be challenging for them to maintain the somewhat lead that they have. They only have a 1k gold lead, or 1.3, I should say. 1.3k gold lead. Doesn't really seem like it's in favor for Rodham anymore. It's definitely a gamble at this point.
we're big chillin' here. I haven't seen an update in the chat, so we're hopefully the bathroom issue doesn't take too long.
While the game is paused and we are doing a bathroom break, make sure you guys are following. If you are not,
He's a better sellout than me. Your first cast. Oh, they're just in. Jesus Christ. Okay.
we've returned.
There we go. Sorry, it's on stream. There's the post-resume pause that happens for some reason.
And the client is bugged.
Nah, this just happens. Just wait.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. It still does this.
This is the post-pause pause. All right, so tower in the bottom lane secured for exclamation. These three guys are gonna tear open this top lane tower, and we are within 1,000 gold of each other at 28 minutes into game 4. Yeah, it's now defense time for Return of the Middlesticks. We'll see if they can find. It just feels like when they're engaging, they're doing better, and when they get engaged upon, things go poorly. And yet they still haven't been looking really proactively for those engagements. I don't know if it's just the champions that they're playing or what's going on, but Giga gets chunked out, exclamation's in a little bit of trouble. Sleepyhead on, hits the Jarvan Jacuzzi, but exclamation just standing his ground, and no Galio ult. Now, finally Galio about to come in, exclamation flashes over the wall, finally. Indigo can't really find his entrance in. In comes the Xerath ult. Paragon very low. Indigo finishes him off with the Void Missiles, and Indigo now gets knocked up by Netflix and Zill. Giga just fighting his way through. The Heimerdinger proves his worth during that fight, but he's able to get the one. Flyer burning down. The bleed damage is enough, and the max range hook finishes him off. Giga is the last one left left alive for Team Omega. Oh my god, Omega Titans Esports. Dragon's going to spawn here in 10 seconds, and Return to the Middlesticks should be able to secure it.
Wow, what a fight. Definitely coming out on top. Rodham coming out on top. That was such a sloppy fight, but it actually turned out. They had no Galio ult, so they really couldn't finish off exclamation when Jarvan went in. And then Paragon getting way too cocky. Arcane shifts in. Indigo puts out a lot of damage. Exclamation was able to hit.
Oh no!
Oh, they stole the dragon!
Alright, well, True Shot Barrage from Paragon steals the dragon and clinches Infernal Soul for OMT, and that completely turns the game on its head. Now OMT have a lead. They have a Baron buff, they have an Infernal Soul. Now it is very scary for Return of the Middlesticks to play.
They stole the dragon. Wow. Forget what I said. I was about to say Rodham definitely comes out on top and has a great lead again. But now, stealing the dragon soul. Wow. I know Kyle didn't have smite, but...
Well, Kyle wasn't there.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
He was dead. So
There's just so much happening.
Yeah. Fair enough. This is the attempted defense of the mid lane tower. Xerath ulting from his, what he thinks is safety by that inner tower. The pull in Sleepyhead, but not able to get a whole lot done. And you can see just the chunks from the Infernal Soul really starting to add up. That's the risk, I guess, you run when you play the dragon game. Sometimes you get one stolen, and then all of a sudden it goes pear-shaped. Because Return of the Middlesticks were in a good position. They wanted to fight over those dragons. They wanted to keep OMT coming there because they were winning fights around it. And now, just a little too dangerous of a game. They needed to contest one of those first two a little bit stronger, I guess.
Yeah, Jarvan's tanky enough to be able to survive the damage output from Trundle and Nautilus. That's one of the mistakes that OTM made in the first game. Or the second game, I should say, when they selected the Graves into the Trundle. Obviously, Graves cannot survive as long as Jarvan can, but the whole point is he's able to survive long enough for Galio to come in and ulti. And when Galio does come in, he not only has a redemption, but he also has a locket ready for Jarvan.
So they can prolong these fights as long as possible. Obviously, the Super Cannon Minion Heimerdinger is not doing much in these fights other than just throwing cannons down. It's mainly the Orianna and Ezreal that are kind of just throwing out a lot of damage that keep Trundle and Darius from pretty much doing anything in this fight. Um, Obviously, Indigo made some mistakes in a fight before, but still, he's still in a great spot. He's on his 4th item. Xerath still has 20 stacks on his Medjais. It's it's still a close game. Even though OTM has their soul, Rodham's still up in gold. It's still a very close game.
Minute to go before our 3rd Baron of the game is going to spawn. Exclamation on cooldown has just been shooting right of the arcane into Flyer and Paragon, which is very annoying, if nothing else. It's some chunks that they otherwise wouldn't have to deal with, and the cooldown doesn't appear to be very long, as often as he's shooting it off.
I think it's fine to do that because you kind of want to force either a summoner or you want to force their carries, Paragon or Flyer to back. So it's not
Sleepyhead
that
just
bad.
accidentally flashed in base, by the way.
Oh,
He bought a Guardian Angel, though, so
that's very Chad of him. He's flashing because he says he doesn't need it.
yeah. Hopefully he doesn't need that here in 14
He does
seconds.
have GA now, though.
Yeah, he bought it. He can go full in and die. Can't go out, though. And now the big purple worm has spawned. Yuna trying to find his way into a good position. We're looking for a pick on Giga, and
There goes
Xerath
Summoner.
almost finishes that off on his own. Yeah, he gets the flash out of Heimerdinger. Sleepyhead has to retreat with the boy, the Donger Dinger.
This does delay them from being able to put pressure onto Baron because he has to back, but he does have TP to come back into this fight, and they got some wards right on top of the Baron pit for him to be in a good spot. And Yuna's bot lane with no TP.
Yeah, they're pretty much sacking this. Sleepyhead goes in. They're gonna get the pick on.
Damn.
Oh, he's got the flash away. This is actually really nicely done by Exclamation and the rest of the squad. Just able to play their distances correctly. They have to blow a couple of summoners, but they're still healthy
Yuna's
enough
coming
that
up.
they can maybe turn on this Baron. Sleepyhead chunked out to about half. Flyer eats another Q from Exclamation as well. Voidseeker over the top, and that's going to mean that OMT bail on out. Pillar comes out, the slow. They don't have the rest of it. They're turning onto the Baron. Indigo has the passive to burn this one down. Kyle gets the chomp, and ROTM secures the Baron.
Yeah, that was a nice way to push him off the Baron. OTM has to respect the fact that Xerath and Kaisa both have the ability to make sure that they can get off this Baron with their long-range poke. However, with them having to force a TP, it kind of didn't have Heimerdinger alongside with all of them, so they kind of had to go the long way around. But nonetheless, still, it was a great way from ROTM to make sure that they didn't look for a fight. As you saw, they hooked the Jarvan to keep him away from Kalga, from Galio following up. But once he did hook, he flashed away, causing the Galio and Jarvan to be separated from their carries. And then Exclamation just laid down some damage. So, nice way of ROTM to make sure they understand. You're just poking them off the objective. We're not looking to engage.
Yeah, now they all get the group recall, all go back to base, all spend, other than Kyle Good, who went and did the crab, which honestly might be more valuable at this point. But Yuna finished up a Quicksilver Sash, which is kind of interesting during that last recall. He's got QSS, Mauve Malmortius, Force of Nature, just all magic resist and move fast. Giga
That
eats,
is a lot of damage onto Giga.
yeah, little Arcano Pulse, and now layering in right of the Arcane, hits 2, hits 3, hits 4, but not quite enough to finish him off. The Elder Dragon spawned, getting deletion now. A lot of damage coming in. They go in with the Shockwave. They go in with the combo Exclamation. Gets knocked up again. They're trying to find the Xerath, but Jarvan is stuck into GA. Paragon's low. He's in Zanya's. He's trying to find it. The Shockwave doesn't quite land on him. Hot damn does hit it. Yuna's on the top side. Flyer's the only one left alive. Somehow it's a triple kill for Indigo. He flies in and finishes off Flyer. The push in and mid, and it looks like they've done it. Indigo with a quadra kill, and Return of the Middlesticks are going to win the playoff series 3-1.
Wow, that was such a good engage that they found onto the Xerath. However, they could not stall it long enough. They actually managed to get out of the Jarvan Jacuzzi, and Paragon
overextends just a little bit too much, forces to use his stopwatch, but puts him in a bad position. Nautilus goes ahead and CCs him right away. Unfortunate ending for OTM right there.
3-1 for Return of the Middlesticks. They'll survive and advance to the next round. I didn't see who they're going to face just yet. I guess we don't quite have the results because there's still another series going on. So they'll face the loser of one of the upper semifinals. So it's either Deep Sea Gaming or the loser of Zenigma Solar and Team Ambition Black. Um, I think that they're favored to not play against Team Ambition Black unless it's a straight bracket. I don't know how it all works. I don't want to claim. Regardless, the fifth seed stays alive and Return to the Middlesticks advances. And we'll have another series next week for you on Monday night. Hoo boy. Okay. Thursday night we have Banditos and Darkwind. Darkwind's playing in their playoff qualifier. Banditos is going to be in a play-in, play or go home, win or go home situation on Thursday, and then Friday, your team Dread's playing in the two-seed bracket. That doesn't matter too much, honestly, but might be nice to get a win, right? And then
Dread Omegalol.
Harvest is playing in the playoff qualifier. If they win, they're qualified for playoffs. Crowstorm has a win in their in-game on that day, and Banditos has a third game for the week on that day. So who knows what's going to happen, but tune in on Thursday and Friday for the rest of the streams. I don't know who I'm casting with because everybody's fucking playing, and I'm not, so I'm just going to keep running the stream. But yeah, congratulations to the Masters team. They once again survive and advance, and we'll see them next week. Yeah, any last thoughts? Any last words, Atlas?
Yeah. So very, very interesting series to watch. OTM, they played as great as they can. Obviously, Game 2 is probably their biggest fallout, getting stomped, but nonetheless, they still played a great series. I was interested to the very last minute of every single game. Obviously, these last two games was very, very close. Could have gone either way, but I'm excited to see how far our Masters team can keep going. It was excellent, great series, very entertaining. If you're not already following or subscribed to the Rodham channel, make sure you guys do so. Get some gear over at esportsgear.com/collections of Return of the Middlesticks.
Yeah, that sounds right. I'm going to send you guys over to Team Ambition org. They have the last game of the night between Team Ambition Black and Zenigma Solar. They're headed to Game 5, so go enjoy some silver scrapes. Hopefully they're playing, and we'll see you guys on Thursday. Have a good night, guys.